Hey everybody, welcome. It is good to finally be back here with these finals. We are having the championship today, and so we are super stoked. It is Shurima versus Freljord, with Freljord having the first seed place and Shurima taking second seed. So we are about to get started here, and before that happens, though, I would like to introduce you to our casters for today, which is going to be double Rexes. We've got double Rex casters today. So if I ever fuck that up, then I apologize in advance. We have what we're going to be referring to as Rex Pigeon here for our commentator, and then we have our play caster is the one and only that you have met before, the original Tyrannosaurus Rex. Also, as you might know him, Faisal. And I
What's up?
think that I said that correctly. I just
Yes, you
scared
did.
myself for a second. I was like, wait, did
Hello,
I?
everybody. Hello, everybody. It's me, Dubious Rex, aka Pigeon Coop, and I'm casting for the first time, and this is gonna be fun, I think. Yes? We're very excited for these games today.
Yes,
Yeah,
this is going to be
definitely.
a really interesting matchup because interested to see exactly how far Shrima's practice has taken them. And what's really interesting about this casting situation is that we actually have the captain of Demacia here casting for us, which was the third seed. So it'll be interesting to kind of get your perspective on some of the gameplay here.
Yeah. I mean, we've played against Shurima, obviously, and lost. We played against Freljord last week, or during the preliminaries, and lost. So we have a nice perspective on losing to both teams. So I'll be able to throw in the perspective of what it feels like to lose, no matter which way it goes. But what are
Nice.
we? Yeah. So it looks like
Nice.
everyone's ready to start. If we are ready to start getting this thing on the road.
Yeah, let's get it going.
I am excited to see the culmination of the final best of five series to take the entire tournament. You've all been waiting. I've been waiting. Let's see how it shakes up. So, as we come into picks and bans, let's see.
Okay, they've banned Kane, which is the signature champion for Quicksand, the jungler. Basically a Kane one trick. But he's used to his Kane being banned by now, so I'm sure he's got something prepared for that. They're also getting rid of the Samira, which is a signature champion for their ADC. And we've got Lilia banned and Set banned. Lilia is a favorite of the jungler. And I believe Set is just an overall good top laner that's been picked a lot throughout the tournament. So we got to get rid of that.
Yep, J4 ban coming out. I'm expecting to see an Echo ban. There it is. Um,
Yep,
yeah,
no way
we
they're letting that
cannot let
echo
this
through
through.
for sure.
All right, they are picking Zac, an objectively better champion than Echo or Lilia. Unlucky
Yeah,
for the enemy team.
yeah, Zack getting locked in for Coldest Winter as one of the stronger champions on his roster. You can't ban him out completely since they throw a ban at Set. In incoming Volibear, so it looks like they're getting a really beefy top in jungle. It seems like Set was one of the champions that Shurima had struggled with in the past due to his ability to flank and just completely destroy the back line.
I think Set is a champion that everyone has struggled with in the past
Shrima
at this point.
likes these beefy team comps, so this doesn't surprise me at all here.
There's the Lissandra that as we've seen multiple times throughout the tournament to completely control the fight. They have a Zac and a Lissandra, so it looks like um, unless Orin is going to get a really spectacular ult here, Freljord is basically going to dominate all of the team fights. But we'll see what the other picks are.
The Vayne ban coming for Chemtech Dragon in
Oh, it's
The
year,
pick.
Vayne pick.
and Cassiopeia being hovered as a possible mid laner into like Lissandra, and that will be it.
I cannot imagine what they're going to pick to mitigate the team fight dominance of Zach and Lysandra. I gotta be honest
Well,
with you. Unless Cassiope is just gonna stomp her lane, I don't think it's gonna matter. But we'll see.
well, that in combination with the fact that Vayne, is a, ultimately a tank buster, and Corey is an absolute, god on Vayne, I think is really kind of making this drafting phase a little bit, giving the edge to Freljord for sure.
So the next couple of
Fair.
bans, the Jinx coming out to ban the bot lane for Hextech Dragon, and Rel, a strong champion for Earth Dragon, also getting taken out of the rotation here.
Yeah, they picked up Draven, which we've never seen. We have
I'm
not
seeing an
seen being
incoming
played this tournament
Seraphine
yet.
for Earth here. That's my.
The Seraphine has been taken by
Oh,
Freljord.
all
So
right.
we'll
Here
not
we
be
go.
seeing that.
They really targeted him there.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's looking
Wow.
like
I don't understand how they. I gotta be honest with you, Shurima doesn't win a single team fight unless they win every single lane and end the game. Because they are about to get trashed. No offense.
the incoming Jackson to Ornn. That's gonna be
Jesus.
that is rough.
Yeah. I mean,
mean,
if they can get Vayne to be
the
0-5
Nami coming
for him,
out.
oh
That's going to be their plan, hopefully, is just to have the Ornn and the Volibear just beef it to frontline engage and just have Nami and Cassiopeia continue to disengage. As long as they're able to try to keep that distance, Cassiopeia should be able to use her grounding ability to hopefully keep Vayne away from eating them alive. But that's just going to abandon the Volibear and the Ornn.
yeah, I do see a possible strategy of Ornn and Volibear going into the backline, taking care of Vayne and Seraphine.
Mm-hmm.
But unless the only way this is going to work is if Lysandra gets behind and if Jax is behind enough that he has to perma split push or his TP is not up or something. Because
Yeah.
even if Volibear and Ornn kill Vayne and Seraphine, Lysandra is going to kill that Draven so fast, and Zac does so much damage despite the fact that he builds full tank that they're probably going to die in the aftermath.
Yeah. I mean, do not underestimate Cassiopeia's ability to scale and put out boatloads of damage, though.
I mean, I don't.
It's
However,
just
I do feel like Cassiopeia cannot save Draven from dying instantly.
no. And just in general, it seems like the way the team comp is shaking up, it just doesn't lend itself well into Cassiopeia.
Yes. Honestly, my imagination of these team fights going is that Zac goes in, Lysandra goes in, ults Draven, probably they kill Nami by accident in the AoEs. And then probably going to be a Seraphine ult around there. Cassiopeia is going to be alive, but Lysandra is going to just press Zanya's, and Cassiopeia is going to get trashed. And then Volibear and Ornn is going to be alive, and they're just going to die to the team showing up if they haven't gotten kited to death by Vayne, of course. I mean, there's a chance that Seraphine won't get her ult off on the entire team because she'll have to use it to save Vayne. But, I mean, that really only matters if Draven doesn't get one-shot by Lysandra, which I have my doubts that he won't.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta figure if Shurima does want to win this game, it feels like they've got to be really judicious about their use of ultimates and disengage. I feel like the Ornn ultimate has to go down kind of with the Nami, and the Cassiopeia's really got to be on point about when she ults their engage so that she doesn't hit the Jax and the Lysandra and leave out the Vayne.
Or possibly they don't fight at all, or at least don't fight in the jungle, a very tight space where Lysandra and Zac are going to completely dominate them.
Yeah.
They have a better chance fighting in lane over in the jungle. And they might want to split up their team. I suspect that Jax is going to be in a side lane the entire game. And Ornn is not going to be able to handle that very well, especially if he has to be part of the team fight. Because Zac, Lysandra, Vayne, and Seraphine don't really need Jax to be there to win the fight. So it's really going to be on, I believe, how well they can handle this Jax top lane, and then how well Ornn can manage his side waves, but like managing holding Jax and being available for the team fight, because he has to be at those team fights. If he's not there, they're definitely going to lose.
Yeah, I mean, and I think a big part of the way the team fights are going to shake up is just also how able the Lysandra is to follow up and get these really good engages, because the Cassiopeia and the Nami should be able to disengage if the Lissandra doesn't get a good root or ult.
Assuming they are not being Zac ulted in that moment, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
They just have a lot of easy CC because even if Lissandra goes in and absolutely whiffs her combo somehow, hard to do with a point and click, but she somehow whiffs her combo. I mean, Zac is there just, getting whatever his lets bouncing all over them, and doing at least a quarter to half their health instantly because Zac just does a bunch of damage with tank items.
Yeah, and then the Seraphine ult on top of that's just going to be nasty.
Exactly. So they're probably going to lose a quarter, if not just straight half their health, just on the strength of the engage alone. And that's why I have very little faith in Shurima's team fight.
I honestly would have preferred to see a Lucian bot lane if that's something that would have been in a Hextech Dragons champion pool, just because I feel like the Lucian would have been so into this team comp, just in terms of being able to peel for himself, but also just being combined with Nami as the Enchantress. There would have been so much damage off of the cost.
Because that knockback and that exhaust is not going to save Draven at all. In fact, the exhaust probably isn't going to have use past laning phase unless Shurima is just inting. Or not Shurima, sorry, Freljord is just inting. So, yeah, it really is up to Nami and Cassiopeia to peel for Draven, assuming that Volibear and Ornn's idea is to get into the backline. Now, if Ornn and Volibear are going to stay with Draven and help him out, then really at that point it's, can Draven do enough damage to all of these tanky characters while he's getting peeled, hopefully successfully, to win the team fight? Questionable. Really, he would really have to get ahead in lane for that.
I agree. I mean, I don't know if the standard front-to-back team fight is going to be a way that Shurima wins.
It's possible for them, but I think it relies on Freljord making a mistake over them playing properly.
I agree.
I think they just are better off focusing on picks. Their team is pretty good at getting picks. Not the best, but much better than they are at team fighting into this particular team. So, maybe if they can catch somebody out with an Ornn ult, Draven maybe getting assists or kills from across the map with his ultimate, maybe they can do something like that. But I think a straight-up 5v5 is just going to be very hard for them to play properly.
We've got a Dandrew fanboy here in the chat room.
Aren't we all Dandrew fanboys?
I swear everybody in the chat is a Dandrew fanboy.
I'm a Dandrew fanboy. But unfortunately, Demacia didn't make it this far, so we can't talk about Dandrew for 30 minutes as much as I would love to.
You may need to look at your stream quality, Rex, because it's kind of pixelated right now, so you may change it to 1080p.
I don't believe I can do that because I do not have Nitro.
Our server has that ability.
Okay, hold on, let me see.
You didn't have to stop the stream, but...
Did I stop the stream?
Yep.
Sorry.
There you go.
Yep.
Hold on. Is the stream still going?
Yes and no.
Oh, okay. Well, we're gonna fix that. We're gonna fix that next game.
There we go.
I cannot switch it to 1080p without alt tabbing. Sorry.
Okay.
You just need to, I think, switch to borderless mode.
I'm already in borderless.
Okay.
I just have to do it next game.
That's fine.
Figure out how to show the gold.
It's just the tab button.
I mean, not much is really going on. We got some trades top lane. Jax is in a position to get ganked, possibly if Volibear was top lane, but he's not there yet, so that's not going to happen. And Ornn seems to be losing these trades with Jax very easily. He's not really respecting Jax's huge minion wave, or the fact that Jax just gets free poke as part of his kit.
And Coldest Winter already taking his blue. It's looking like he's working on Scuttle right now. And first blood goes to Jax as he kills Ornn next to the tower.
Yes, Ornn did not think that he needed to back and TP there. I guess he didn't expect Jax would be able to bonk him on the head within tower range, but that's Jax's specialty.
It's looking like Volibear is passing towards top lane. I see him going through the Tri-Bush ward up there, but Jax looking like he's going to recall. He is spotted on that ward.
We've also had some ganks mid lane going on so far. Volibear tried to do a flank on Lissandra, but Lissandra has free escapes in her kit. And it seems like Zac couldn't get the gank off on Cassiopeia because she was too far back. But it looks like he has a very easy gank on bot lane. Oh, never mind. They saw him.
Yep. I mean, Draven pushing really hard into that lane. Really trying to leverage that early advantage, which is, I feel like, what he's got to do in order to win the lane here.
Yes, I do find it very risky for him to do that if his jungler's not hovering bot side. Maybe if they can shove the wave while their jungler's around and then let it push back to them when their jungler's top lane seems to be the better idea, but they may just not be pushing fast enough for that to be possible.
I do like that they have a little bit more vision in the bot lane to try to allow them to push more aggressively. They do have the scuttle, which gives them a lot of that river vision. I'd like to see their general wards put a little bit further back, just because if you put that river in the bush, by the time you spot the jungler, they're already ganking.
Oh yeah, Zac especially. Oh, I think Ornn's dead again.
Yep. Oh no.
I think he should have been, but Jax changed his mind for some reason. I'm not sure what Jack's cooldowns are, so I can't really comment much. But I believe Ornn should have died there, 100%.
Yeah, he was under tower, so it's entirely possible that Jax wanted to be a little bit safer and not dive the tower for him. He's already winning the lane, forcing the Ornn to farm under tower, full level behind. So I don't necessarily know if there's that
pretty common Freljord behavior there. Like choosing rather than to risk it, for the biscuit, knowing he's already ahead, choosing to just have that extra pressure.
I think
incoming game from Coldest Winter. Cassiopeia will drop an ult, eat a Lissandra ult, and the flash will not save Lissandra, and Cassiopeia is able to get out.
I gotta be honest with you, it may be the particle effects or my low brain power, but I do not understand how Cassiopeia survived there, especially with so little mana.
She ulted a great ult when they engaged on her, and she ignited the Lissandra.
I guess so, but she had so little health. I feel like if Lissandra had just tried not to stay alive and had just stayed in the fight, she just dies there.
Yeah, she would have died there. I think Lissandra was hoping that Coldest Winter would be able to secure the kill and they would stay alive, and instead we'll not trade kills, and we'll go 0-for-1 in that lane.
I see.
Cassiopeia does have so much damage that if you just get within her zone, she will body you immediately. And a lot of people don't respect the damage that she has.
That's true. Maybe it's just a matter of saying that, hey, I'm going to die anyways, I might as well go all in. Oh, looks like Cassiopeia is going top to kill this Jax. Oh,
no, she's just hitting the Scryer Bloom. They do know that Tri-Bush is warded for whatever that is worth.
Yeah, it looks like they're just going to allow Jax to poke Ornn under tower for free for the entire game, which is crazy because Ornn has a great ultimate, and I just feel like it's a free kill. It's not like Jax has many escapes in his kit.
That is true.
I mean, Volibear's walking up there now. They might have a plan, but I think Jack's smart enough.
I think he's on Raptors right now. Yeah, I think he's on Raptors. I see Coldest Winter just grabbed red. It looks like he might be pathing bot lane. He just went into the Tri-Bush.
Yeah. Well, I know the rumors
it looks
about
like
Oh, is this a lane gank?
Yeah, it might be a lane gank coming in.
And they are pushing, and Nami is helping push the lane for God knows what reason. So they are going to be pushing into this Zac and get ganked. And Zac might be going a little early.
Incoming gank from Zac. Flash will go out from Nami. Zac getting the pull onto Draven, who will get knocked back by the Vayne. And did he also flash there? He did.
Yes,
they got both flashes.
I feel like that gank could have easily transitioned to a kill. I don't understand if they had such a huge wave that they knew was pushing in. Why not just wait for them to come forward? They are determined to push that wave into the tower, right? If they don't push the wave into the tower, it's an easy freeze for Freljord. So I think they could have easily just waited for them to walk forward and get 2 free kills. There's no way they can flash out of it if they're in the middle of the lane.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's also kind of dependent on the risk reward, because all that time that Coldest Winter is spending there in lane, he's soaking experience, not getting gold, and not applying pressure on other lanes. So there's definitely an opportunity cost.
I suppose, but if you
and
have
he did get both flashes.
That's true, but if you have Vayne on your team, you're going for the late game security anyway. You're expecting her at some point in your game to be the carry. Not god!
Incoming Volibear for a gank. Volibear will flash, and oh no!
Wow!
Chemtech Dragon assisting the Volibear and killing his own support.
Chemtech Dragon top playing Flash and allowing Volibear to get into range of Seraphine. Amazing.
Yeah, that knockaway was.
You know that Lauren's mad about that for sure.
Yeah. Lauren has officially been tilted. I'm sorry, Lauren.
Yeah.
Oh, Cassiopeia's here.
Incoming gank from. Oh, the ult! Freezing Zac in mid-air will pop his passive. And Lissandra coming in, hoping that she could follow up with a kill. Cassiopeia getting the speed boost off of the Q.
Unfortunately, Cassiopeia is the fastest champion in the game. But it looked like
incoming Jax will get the kill on her. Yeah. And boom. Clapped by misclicked.
Damn, now I just want you guys to imagine if Jax had a real weapon.
Oh my god. It would be absolute destruction in the top lane. I'm not sure why Ornn didn't feel like it was necessary to maybe try to distract the Jax with an ult, or even just throwing a Q at him so he couldn't collapse on his Cassiopeia so quickly. And in fact, he knew that Cassiopeia was running top way earlier than Jax. He could have been there before the Jax. I'm not sure what's going on.
Well, he actually started following the Jax and decided against it because he was afraid that he was going to get turned on by the incoming Lissandra, I think.
I suppose that's true. Yeah, I do as well. I mean, if you're expecting Cassiopeia and Draven to be your carries this game, I think you do what you can to keep them from running it down. If that means running it a little yourself.
A little bit of BM from Earth Dragon. Running Earth the Nami T.
Yes, in my experience with Shurima, he's very big on the BM in lane.
And Roots will miss onto Hextech Dragon, and that lane is just hard pushing.
We do have a poke lane a little bit down. Oh, okay, free Scuttle Crab. We do have a bit of a poke lane down here in the bot lane. Doesn't seem like they're getting their poke off very well, though. So unfortunately, they can't capitalize on that. But it's going to be very hard to really do anything about this Draven without a free stun. Oh, a gank or some really good poke.
It looks like they're just trying to secure Dragon at the moment. Vision cleared around the Infernal Drake. And Lissandra will go back to mid to try to get that juicy wave.
Okay, it looks like another lane gank coming out from the Zac. But this time, their wave is not pushing in, so I'm not sure if this is like a tower dive. I'm not sure what's going on.
I sure hope not.
Yes, because that looks like it's going to go terribly, terribly wrong. But, I mean, Jax has TP here. Maybe they're going to do something really cheeky. Oh, it is basically a tower
incoming
dive.
Initiation onto the Nami. Pulls in. Snare goes down to Nami. Nami will go down. Vayne and Zac follow up to kill Draven. And Volibear just a little bit too late.
Well, thankfully, it was not a tower dive, and they get the kills anyway.
And that will be an Infernal Drake for Freljord. I don't think that Shurima can even try contesting that.
Not at all. I realized my mistake is that I kind of forgot that Seraphine has an ult in her kit, so it was a pretty easy gank, actually.
Got a flash from Ornn there.
Yeah, Ornn flash. Still not respecting that Jax is a poke champion. You know, but honestly, a lot of people don't really consider Jax a lane bully for whatever reason at all. So I guess he just kind of didn't expect to get touched so many times by that.
And the incoming damage from Cassiopeia, that was 1 W and 2 E's. That took half of Lissandra's health.
What's going on mid lane anyways? Oh, we can see that Cassiopeia's up in farm. I do not know how to see items. I don't know what button to click for that.
Oh, wait.
It should be. There we go.
There we go.
There we go. I mean,
we were just seeing numbers there for a second.
Yeah, I was really confused.
Yeah, Cassiopeia is almost on her way to a full Ludens. In terms of itemization, it looks like they're pretty close in items. but the gold differential top lane is really starting to show. There's a Jack's already sitting on a Divine Sunderer, and he's just going to be able to completely dominate and bully this Ornn.
I gotta
And
be
you
honest
see
with
that.
you. I'm surprised that we haven't seen like just a straight lane freeze at Jax's tower and into killing Ornn on cooldown. There's really, as much as Jax is pushed in, there's
Mhm.
really no reason for him to keep pushing the lane into Ornn.
I
All he has
agree.
to do is sit at his tower and wait for Ornn to walk up, because Ornn has to get XP, and just kill him. And if Ornn doesn't walk up, then he's going to be 2 levels down, 3 levels down.
Yeah,
It's a very
I
easy
do
lane for
see him
Jax.
slow pushing. Yeah, I do see him slow pushing now. But
Yes,
I mean, he's
I don't know if Jax feels like he needs to get the lane prio for a TP or something like that, but he really puts himself in the position to get ganked, as you see Volibear is waiting up here for really no reason at all, right? Oh,
yeah.
and he jumps in, he has no jump. Volibear is
And
not sure about
incoming
going in with him.
Zach coming into counter gank will run straight into Volibear, and that could turn poorly as Jax comes in to try to fight Volibear. Incoming and Coldest Winter will kill both Coldest Winter will get the kill onto Ornn, and the incoming Jax just turned that fight around completely.
I'm a little confused. Now the 1v2 was a little questionable with
Yeah.
Ornn getting killed pretty fast by Jax at any point in the game. I think Cassiopeia has set herself up to get dove here. As
Yeah.
long as Coldest Winter goes in first, it should be a very easy dive. But Jax has gone
There
in
we
first.
go.
There we go. I don't know how she missed her ult there, but it's fine. It doesn't matter. She was
she
gonna die anyway.
overextended. Yeah, no, she needed to sit into tower and force Coldest Winter to eat turret shots in order to engage. She stepped too far out and allowed herself to get collapsed on from both sides. There was no good ult for her in that situation at all.
Maybe she just wasn't expecting to get dove there. Which, I mean...
Yeah, and the Nami ult completely whiffed by Earth Dragon.
Yeah.
Maybe because he's not playing Rel.
You know, I'm not sure that's the case, though I haven't really seen his full champion pool.
Just
I
a
think
little
that
bit of friendly.
He has played Enchanters before, so I think he has some skill in Enchanters. Maybe he's not a Nami main, but you said before that he'd probably pulled a Seraphine, so maybe he's more of a Seraphine type Enchanter over a Nami type Enchanter.
No, he's a strong player. It was just giving him a bit of a hard time. That ult was, in so many, as I've said so many other times, tragic.
It looks like there's about to be a 4-man dive bot lane, which is going to be interrupted by Volibear being here in the tri-bush and Cassiopeia rotating down.
Oh, incoming initiation from Zac going to the back line. The Seraphine ult will come down, charm the Nami, and it looks like Freljord's getting split. The ult will come down out of Lissandra, and Lissandra's just in no man's land and is just going to die. Zonies will go out. A killer root from Seraphine will not save her. I gotta question the use of that Zonia's. If you know you're dead, why didn't you save the cooldown?
He may have just thought that his team could possibly help him, or it was a panic Zonia's. Not really sure.
Yeah, but I mean, just in general, I feel like that Zonia's was also a mistake.
Yes, I do feel like not just walking in instead of Eing in was also a mistake. I mean, they knew there was vision because I believe Lissandra had just cleared a ward before she walked over there.
Yeah.
So they knew that the dive was possible. So I'm not really sure. I feel like Eing in just to quickly get over the wall there into the try was probably a bad idea, especially when they didn't have the minions pushed up to the wave. There's no way that Vayne could help with some auto attacks because she had no minion pressure at all. But they get the bot lane turret anyways, so I guess it all works out in the end.
Yeah, and Volibear will ult, trying to get onto the Jax. The Jax ward hops over the wall, dodging the Cassiopeia, the Jax, and the Volibear, and the Volibear ult is just wasted.
Yes, they use everything to kill Jax, but they forgot that, well, Jax has mobility as well as being a lane bully, and that was just never going to work.
And in the meantime, they will trade not killing Jax for an Ocean Drake.
You know, I'm not entirely sure what Shurima's game plan is here, because it doesn't look like they're certainly not focusing top lane, because there's really no effort to handle that Jax at all. But it didn't seem like they were focusing bot lane either, and it also didn't seem like they were focusing mid, so I'm not quite entirely sure if their plan was just for all of the lanes to win on their own, or what was really going on.
What it seems like to me is that Volibear is very reactionary. He's not making a lot of proactive plays. And so they're not really snowballing any of the lanes. And Cassiopeia is trying to translate her lane advantage to go top and just stop the orange from hemorrhaging more pressure in gold top lane, but it's already, a 7k gold lead in
I mean,
favor of Freljord.
it could
It's
also be that this is just Shurima's test run, right? They only have to win 3 games. It doesn't matter how many they lose as long as they don't lose 3. So they could just be testing the waters, see what Freljord has in store, and they'll make a plan of action game 2.
That's fair. I mean, here's to hoping if they're not at least test running, they can learn a lot from, this setup and hopefully translate that into game 2 changes. The
Oh my
Cassiopeia
god,
dropping the ult onto Jax, not enough
is
damage to
Jax
close him
finally
out.
dead?
Nope.
Is Jax finally
This
dead? No,
ward
because
hops over the wall.
Volibear got distracted by Seraphine, unfortunately, so the Jax just lives.
That is tragic as well.
Yes,
I mean,
because
Ornn even dropped
Volibear
the
was there.
ult. Yeah, Ornn dropped the ult onto Jax, and it just wasted.
Oh.
And now Jax coming in to fight Ornn, and Ornn dropping his flash, and we'll just walk out. But
Yeah, so
flash gone.
So it seems as though our prediction is about true, that Jax is going to completely ignore the entire game, sit top lane, and that it's just going to be a 4v5 in Freljord's favor just based on the strength of their champions alone. However, it seems like because all of the Shuriman lanes are losing, that just about everybody can split push, so we have Lissandra just in the bot lane for fun at this point, because who's going to come kill her? Not Volibear, not Draven.
So Cassiopeia seems to be able to kill Lissandra, but Lissandra's mobility just lends towards being able to just pressure those lanes and kite her out.
The problem with Cassiopeia versus Lissandra is that unless Lissandra moves too far forward, there's actually no way for Cassiopeia to get on top of Lissandra without burning Flash. And if she burns Flash, she has to kill Lissandra in the span of her Flash, or else Lissandra just gets away, most likely.
Cassiopeia is a champion I feel like that wants other champions to come towards her. And the Volibear getting the initiation onto 10 Rocks, who will just ult out of there.
Oh, and it seems like they're all dead because they're getting collapsed on.
Jax coming in now, ult coming out onto Vayne.
Oh my god,
he's trying to get away. The shield bolt will pop. Jax killing Lissandra. Draven will come in, clean up Vayne. Incoming Nami ult. Volibear will go down to Lissandra, and Jax cleaning up on Draven.
Yes, and this is like I said again. Okay, they kill the Vayne, but then what? Their whole team still dies. Nami looks like she's inting? Okay, never mind.
A 3 for 2 in favor of Freljord.
It seems like they had a pretty good idea of going on Lissandra there, but it seems like they totally forgot that Freljord had complete mid-pressure and could easily rotate.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they had to make some kind of play, I feel like, and that was just the fight they wanted to take.
Possibly, but I feel like that play was very solo queue minded and wouldn't have worked
I agree.
if they weren't in Discord.
Yes. I mean, also, I just think they overcommitted to the fight quite a bit. They might have been able to just disengage with a Nami ult when they killed the Draven. And when they killed the Vayne. Just take like a... I think they wanted more, and they got punished for it.
The Cassiopeia ult was actually pretty good. Pretty stellar.
Yeah, Cassiopeia's been doing fairly well this game so far. Incoming Nami bubble straight onto Jax. Wow. It's like he didn't even try to dodge it. Was he just flexing that? Like,
I don't think he saw it, because it came over the wall and he had no vision. So it just kind of hit him. Man, Freljord has so many wards on this map!
Yeah.
And it's like, Shurima has wards on the map too, but it's like all of their wards are nowhere near Freljord's wards. Like, they have control wards, but not where the actual wards are, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I mean, and I feel like the placement of their control wards leaves a little something to be desired. They're not... I mean, their defensive wards should be used to contest vision, and they're not.
Yes, I feel like their defensive wards are good if, like if they were ahead, those are great places to put wards. But when you're behind, you're not really warding anything, because if the enemy team is ahead, well, they would never walk over there.
Yes.
But that's okay. That's just going into, VOD reviews in practice. And they'll get
I mean, I also kind of have to feel like the ward in the bush is actually a little bit better off being closer to the other end of that. No, next to blue is probably better off being like around, closer to the edge of that pixel, you want to get as much vision of this area as you can, of the intersection as you can. And there's a
Yes, yeah,
lot of
right here.
blackness. Yeah, there's a lot of parts that just aren't covered by vision. The placement of that ward.
Can we see ward scores on here? Oh, we can. Yeah, Shurima is suffering on the ward score battle right now.
Yeah, and
Everyone,
Darren.
the
Oh, go on.
lowest on Freljord is 10, with everyone averaging about 20. And oh my God, Jax just
Yeah,
absolutely destroyed Cassiopeia.
yeah. So I mean, meanwhile, while we were sitting there talking about wards like boring people, Freljord comes in, takes Baron. Jax comes in with a Baron wave and clops Cassiopeia. And that mid tower is going to go down. I don't think that Shurima is going to be able to defend it. I stand corrected. Nope, it went down. And Jax gets the initiation onto Draven,
Oh,
and
there was.
oh no, they overextended way too much. Volibear gets onto the backline here, but I mean Jax just destroying everybody, and
Well,
Vayne.
trying to defend that tower in general was an overextension in itself. This looks like a pretty easy end of the game here.
Yeah, I mean, they at no point could they just fight the team at all. So
Oh,
all
they FF'd?
yeah.
Oh my God, they should just let the Nexus die. Whatever, it's fine.
Well, they saved 5 seconds,
True, 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 true. That's the most important part.
right? I mean, you got to figure Jax went 11-0-3 and just dominated the game. Like just the difference in between Jax and Ornn was like what 8K gold.
That is true, but that's just the power of Jax, the solo queue superstar, as well as the. I'm sorry, I totally forgot to look at the damage charts. By the way,
No worries.
um, yeah, he's a solo queue superstar, as well as he's very good in coordinated teams. As long as you can get a reliable split pusher with your team comp, pretty good.
So I got to
Alrighty.
figure like go on.
I was just gonna say that let's go ahead and take a 5 minute break here while we get this game set up, and kind of 5 minute intermission here, and we'll be right back with the second of the 5 matches here. So expect about 5 minutes or less, and we will see you guys then. Thanks for watching.
Okay, ready to go?
Yep.
Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back to Game 2 of the Helios Tournament Finals, Freljord versus Shurima. In the first game, Freljord won convincingly, due in large part due to exploiting that top lane where they got a really significant lead. So I'm curious to see how Shurima is going to try to respond to that.
Agreed. If that first game was their test run, I would like to see how they're adjusting to that. It seems like they have no good bans in the jungle, since Coldest Winter is good at Echo and Lilia, and if he doesn't get those, he's picking Zac. So unless they're doing 3 jungle bans right now, they better stop banning out the jungler and pick somebody else.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the problem is in our experience, if you don't ban Coldest Winter on Echo, he just steals the game.
But that's the thing. If Coldest Winter is going to carry anyways, you might as well just try to find somebody else to screw over and play off of them, right?
That's also fair. Well, the first 2 bans going straight to Coldest Winter.
Let's see if we get that Zac ban out. And then, I believe if Zac is banned, we're going to see a Trundle jungle.
Yeah, so we have a Zac and a or we have a Kayn and Samira banned out from Freljord against Shurima. So that Samira's never getting through. And we'll see if the Zac ban is incoming or if Shurima is able to.
They have banned out 3 junglers. I believe there's a Trundle coming, but I'm not sure. And there goes the J4. Now, I have a question for you, Rex. Do you feel like the first 3 bans of a game are the most telling? Are they saying these are the only characters on your team that we really care about? For example, is Freljord just saying, as long as we get your jungler and ADC out, there's really nothing we have to worry about? And is Shurima just saying, wow, as long as we get your jungler out, this is probably smooth sailing? However, that seems pretty huge something to say after the last game on Shurima's part. But just a general question.
I think he died.
Oh no, man! I really set that up for some good quizzing.
Some good
Unlucky.
feedback. Yeah, I know.
Oh, is that Soraka jungle? I'm ready for it. But it looks like we get a Soraka support. I think this is the first Soraka support of the tournament.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right there. At least as far as I can remember.
Sorry about that. I was having some audio issues.
All right. Did you hear my question? Do I need to rephrase it?
Oh, having some more audio issues. Let's go.
All right. Well, we'll just leave it alone.
I just think the Discord doesn't like it. Like.
Well, it looks like Shurima thought about picking Kha'Zix, but has switched to Cassiopeia instead. Now, if we analyze this, is this the big brain play by Shurima? Or are they showing Kha'Zix to try to trick Freljord into banning Kha'Zix instead?
Okay, so sorry again. I'm not sure. I do see the incoming Jinx picked up for Hextech Dragon.
It seems like they no longer care about the enemy bot lane anymore.
They do not, apparently. I do not see a Vayne ban at all. It seems like they just want to ban out Coldest Winter.
Yes, and it seems like Coldest Winter is holding his jungle ban, possibly to counterpick their team. Ah, never mind, he's picking Elise. Well, this is a much squishier team coming out of, what is it called? Freljord, with much more questionable team fight. It's really going to depend on these last 2 picks, because Elise and Lissandra isn't really a team fight. It's more just like, maybe we can burst somebody, maybe we can't.
Yeah, they're definitely going for a pick comp. The Swain is going to be a really strong jungler coming, or a really strong support coming out, and possibly just flex towards top lane.
I'm also curious why they're switching up their picks. I mean, obviously, other than the fact that Coldest Winter got banned out, there's no reason not to go Jax again this game. They also had Set. They also could have picked Set as well.
It might just be the Jax isn't a high priority pick for them.
True. They may just be saying, hey, who cares what our top laner plays? They'll win anyways. We might as well just wait to see what everyone else has, secure our support, and our mid laner.
Yeah. I mean, I see the Cassiopeia coming out. Cassiopeia did well into Lissandra last game. The Misfortune also coming out against the Jinx. Yeah.
I'm not really sure what's going on here because they actually did pick Kha'Zix.
Okay.
Wow.
I'm not really sure how the team fights are going to be shaping up for all of these. Is it looking
Well,
like Swain is going to have to initiate those fights?
so
And
far it looks like it's kind of just a 50-50 based on one, who gets behind, and two, who has the bigger brain here. Because
yeah, this is a
Lysandra,
clown fiesta in the making.
yes, because Lysandra has too many targets now that she has to press R on, especially if they want Misfortune to do something this game. So
Yeah, the
Lysandra
Shen
can't
coming
be
out.
relied on. Yeah, Lysandra can't be relied on to save anybody. Now, Shurima's plan may be here that Kha'Zix does a flank, kills Misfortune instantly, and so he doesn't die instantly to Lysandra. He gets a little Shen ult.
Okay, so we have the Shen coming out in Yone, so a really squishy team comp coming out of Freljord, and Shen going up towards GL the man into Yone. I have to feel like the top lane advantage goes to GL the man.
I think normally we may say that, but Yone does have a lot of easy poke in his kit.
Yeah.
And if Misclicked is very confident that he's the stronger top laner, he
Mhm.
definitely can manipulate the lane and get himself ahead, or at least not behind on Yone. But truthfully, Yone's not balanced, so really all he has to do is press R. Doesn't matter if he goes 0-5 this game, he's going to make the team fight very easy for his teammates. And I believe
That's
that is the team fight angle for Freljord. They wait for Misclick to press R, Lysandra goes in afterwards and sees if she can get an AoE on more than one person, and then Misfortune presses R after.
yeah.
Now, if Shurima doesn't stand all 5 people in a group, they may be able to easily counter this plan, but we'll see.
I have to feel like I kind of like the team comp from Shurima this time around. I do like the initiation and the global from Shen that's going to allow them to protect and pressure some of the other lanes. So even if Yone starts to get ahead, Shen can just roam.
That's true. He
He
could.
builds full tank, and I mean, that's all she wrote. They have a beefier initiation, especially with a Swain ult.
That is
Um,
true. However, we do have to keep in mind the players playing the champions, and from my recollection, I don't remember GL the man roaming much in any of the games. So,
yeah,
as while that
well,
could be a very Shen thing that he could do, might not actually do it.
that's fair. I mean, he unfortunately though, Ornn does not have a global ultimate.
That's true. But even as Shen, I have not seen him roaming very much.
That's fair. Okay.
I
I
mean,
mean,
yeah, he presses R when his R is up, but I mean, other than that, kind of just
I
sits top lane.
I am curious to see how the Soraka lane goes into Swain, just because I know Lauren has played support Swain before and is familiar with how it works. And while support Swain is real strong, Soraka is underestimated frequently. A lot of her power doesn't just come from that absurd heal, it also comes from the silence in the root and knowing when
Uh,
to use it.
well, I do believe that Shurima's bot lane likes to play aggressively. Now, they may have played a little bit less aggressively last game because there was a looming Zac threat. But I do know that Urf is going to be looking for those grabs at any possible time he can get them. So if they focus on Soraka, they may have an easy time bot lane here, as from my observations of Freljord, they tend to play a little bit passively themselves. So if they can abuse possibly Soraka getting out of position, they may have an easy lane down here. Because it's not really like Misfortune does that much in lane besides like hitting a good Q, right? So
Yeah, I mean, hitting decent keys is a big part of Misfortune's lane power, which I guess can't be underestimated.
it
But
can't
we
be,
will.
but it's also hard countered by positioning. So I guess it really
Yes.
depends on what their Shurima's bot lane does here, because
Yeah.
I do believe as long as they stand properly, right? Because if
Yeah.
they want to catch Soraka here, and what is Soraka going to do? Hit a 2-man silence? Right. So they just need to stand on the same side as Soraka together. If
Mhm.
Swain ever grabs Soraka, she dies instantly because Jinx is right there to start autoing her.
Oh yeah. No, they definitely win the two v
Right.
twos.
Right. So, but if Jinx is on the other side of the lane and Swain grabs Soraka, he might not be able to capitalize on that grab fast enough. So, I believe positioning-wise, that's how they have to play the lane. But
I agree. I mean, I kind of
it's-
feel like, judging by the way the last game was going, that Tenrox on Lissandra might want to focus less on laning and fighting against Cassiopeia and more on trying to roam and snowball some of the other lanes.
that's true.
Especially
He
since
did try to
Cassiopeia's
roam.
running cleanse.
Oh, God. He did try to roam last game, but couldn't get them off for one reason or another. So maybe they'll play around the roams a little bit better this game.
Yeah, I don't think that he could beat Cassiopeia in lane right now with the silence on Cass. I mean, with the cleanse on Cass. I don't think it happens.
Yeah, this may end up being a farm lane or a roam lane, depending on how they want to play it.
Yeah.
I do think, from a general champion perspective, that Shurima does have the winning team comp.
Mhm.
But I believe that Freljord's team comp has a lot of strength if they have very good team play. And we know that Freljord's a really good team. They practice a lot together. So if they can really communicate well and set up the fights exactly the way they want to, I think they can win these team fights against Shurima. But Shurima has to put in way less effort to win the fights than Freljord does. And that's their advantage this game. It doesn't look like Freljord's looking at their screens, though.
Oh,
Is that a
incoming
free first
level
blood?
1
My
and 3 first
God.
blood. Oh, jeez. Sure, Swain dropping first blood towards Was that Swain or was that a?
Well, it seems like Freljord.
Yeah,
I
no.
believe
No,
Swain
it
did
was.
get the kill on Elite.
Yeah, Swain gets the first blood on Elite, so it was a little bit pixelated.
Sorry about that.
No worries.
Yeah, so it seems like Freljord did make the correct decision to 5-point. However, they made the incorrect decision of not looking at their screens while 5-pointing, which is the point of 5-pointing in general. So, unlucky for them, I guess.
Yeah. So it looks like Freljord is going to start blue a little bit behind into the bot lane, which is unfortunate since the mid lane is going to be a pain point for them.
Yeah, it looks like they're trying to hide who they leashed here as well on Shurima's side.
Yeah. So, I mean, Kha'Zix starting top, it looks like the first gank is going to come bot lane. Just through jungle pathing, I would expect. And hoping to just snowball that bot lane.
I can, but it's going to stop the stream for a second, but nothing's happening right now.
Yeah. Better we try now, since... Yeah.
That's true. Well, I cannot stream from Source because I don't have Nitro. Unlucky. But I can through 1080p. Oh! It looks like we have a good trade going on in favor of Shen. It seems like misclicked his inting and wasted his flash for absolutely no reason at all. It seems like maybe we underestimated GL the man's experience on Shen. He is basically a Shen one-trick, so maybe Freljord made a mistake by letting he get that in his hands.
I
Misclick
think the
has
mistake might also have been just like taking Yone into him, since a bunch of his damage is also just auto attack based. But
That's true. But oh, hold on. Oh, never mind.
and
Okay, that's true. But Yone is their only source of team fight anything on Freljord's side, so they kind of had to pick Yone. But it looks like Misclicked is pushing the lane for really no reason at all once again, and is going to get ganked here by Kha'Zix. But Kha'Zix changes his mind, so he gets out for free.
yeah, Yone did have the ability, I guess, to just walk away, because Shen didn't have the ability to follow up with sub 300 health.
That is true.
So,
And there's a gigantic minion wave. He surely would have died to casters.
Yeah, if you could, it looks like there's a fight going on around top lane between Elise and Kha'Zix for that scuttle.
Oh yeah, they're certainly posturing around this scuttle crab.
Yeah.
Now they definitely have top lane prio, so it seems like a bad idea to go for the scuttle, but it looks like Yone is completely distracted by trying to kill Shen under tower. So
yeah,
Kha'Zix just gets the scuttle for free, and
we'll look to try to gank
we
top
have flash
lane.
up.
And
Amazing.
that's it. Amazing indeed.
All right.
And
well,
Shurima,
this game, as I said before, is What?
I said, yeah, no.
Continue, sorry.
Shurima looks like they're really starting to take control of this game early on.
Yes, they're certainly getting the early game advantage.
The pull
And
getting onto Soraka, she'll
Soraka
take a bunch of damage from that Jinx as
seems to be
well.
the focus of the bot lane. We flash
And
for the Soraka, I guess, to get off some the summoner spell. It looks like they're getting a free gank for Elise here. They should be dead.
yeah, it looks like Jinx dropping to the Soraka after the gank from Elise. That part of the screen kind of I didn't get to see that because there was a little bit of lag.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
Apologies.
Uh,
Yeah, I'm
but-
not entirely sure why we flashed for the Soraka under tower there, but I guess they got Guardian or barrier for it and heal. So worth? Question mark.
I mean, I think it was just their hyper aggression left them wide open to a game from Coldest Winter. And if they're going to
Yes,
be
and
that
that is
hyper aggressive,
unfortunately a drawback.
they need that vision. They're getting punished for it a lot.
That's true as well. The drawback to playing aggressively is getting ganked. And it doesn't seem like Shurima was calculating that. It looks like Cassiopeia here is also setting herself up for a gank, but Kha'Zix's coming in for the counter gank. Oh no. Unfortunate timing on the lag.
And Tenrox will get the kill onto Cassiopeia.
Pretty sure they also killed Kha'Zix here.
Nope. Too much
never
damage from Kha'Zix. I don't know if they want to mess with that.
It would have certainly been a risky fight, but I believe they just kill Kha'Zix there if they try. Oh, but Swain is coming up mid lane while Lysandra tries to push, but they changed their mind on the gank. And he just
it looks like they might be... I don't know if they're going to try to set up dragon wards to try to make sure they can get it, but Swain just walks by without dropping a single ward. How tragic.
Yeah, they don't really seem to be walking into the river at all because there's a very obvious control ward in that pixel brush, and no one has cleared it yet. So it doesn't look like there's really any focus at all in even looking at bot river.
I mean,
let alone going for the dragon.
Just to talk about the general ward placement, I do like the ward that had just expired from Freljord, which is next to the wall of the dragon pit. I had mentioned before I had mentioned that the wall in the bush leading from the river was not the best ward, just because by the time you spot the jungler, it's too late. You want that lead time. They are dropping a ward in the bush, I guess, in case the Kha'Zix decides to gank from the bush and camp. Kha'Zix can do that. But I do generally like to see wards that give them vision with enough time to react.
Sneaking dragon here? Are we sneaking dragon here? Or are we just sightseeing?
Yeah.
Okay, possibly sneaking dragon. Could be a bad idea because Elise is on her way slowly bot lane. We'll see. I think Kha'Zix can get out of this for free.
There's a control ward, so there's no vision. Yeah, there's no vision in the dragon pit. So that'll be highway robbery with a free dragon from Kha'Zix.
That seems like a huge oversight that Freljord has the entirety of the river rewarded except for the dragon. Pretty crazy, but hey, a free sneak by Kha'Zix, I'll give it to Shurima any day of the week.
Yep.
Looks like Kha'Zix is possibly thinking about ganking, or maybe he's a little confused about what he wants to do next. But it looked like he might be going
invading to fight Elise, it seems like.
No, I think he's just going for a tiki gank. But he's walking through all the vision. I think he could have killed that Elise if he just walked around a little bit, though. Maybe.
Possibly,
Hard
yes.
to say, because Lysandra was there.
Elise looking like she's going into... get some wards into Kha'Zix's jungle. She sees that Raptors has been cleared.
Yes, I think she wanted to try to get him while he was coming up, but he never showed up, so she just gave up. Did decide to do something else?
Yeah, Scuttle will go towards blue side.
Or red side, I think.
Red side, sorry. I thought it was blue side because I saw the Shen and the Cassiopeia, but guess not.
I think they might have gotten there a little bit late for the Scuttle. I believe that's what happened. I wasn't looking up there. I was so focused on Elise.
Yeah.
Sorry, viewers.
No worries.
I don't know how it's possible, but it's like... No, continue. Sorry.
Yeah, I was just saying a little bit of poke coming out onto the Soraka here, and it seems like the lane is going back and forth. I would not have expected the lane to be as even, but Soraka's
Yeah,
ability
this
to just
Swain,
slow the lane down.
Hey,
this
can we
Swain's got a
pause the
homing missile
stream
on
here
Soraka.
real fast and
Yeah.
just quick interlude to try and fix this this pixelation quality after this fight here.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
So yeah, Shen will get killed off of the gank from Coldest Winter and Yone, but Kha'Zix with the counter gank, getting the kill back onto Yone. And we're gonna go ahead and take a brief intermission to try to fix this quality issue.
We'll be right back, guys. Alrighty, guys, welcome back. We got the issues fixed. We changed a couple Discord settings around, did a little bit of Googling, and voila. Looks like things are a lot better now. So, thanks for your patience.
After the Because after the double kill
Just
top
in
lane, it
time
looked
to
like
see the Kazakhs get completely bodied by Elise here after face checking a bush.
yes, after such a great gank, that's really a bad way to go out.
Right? Especially since this is the first thing we saw when we came back.
Yes.
It's dangerous to go alone.
We paused the stream on a very high note.
Right? How the mighty have fallen. I mean, for what it's worth, Kazakhs has been applying some impressive pressure to the game, taking objectives, and really coming through for his team.
I think the ganking has gone a way smoother this time. That may just be because either that the jungler is a little bit more comfortable on Kazakhs, or Freljord just doesn't have as strong of a team as they had before, and they can't really. It's just easier to gank than they were before.
Yeah, I mean, a big part of it also, I think, is the top lane actually holding their own pretty well.
Yes.
When the top lane just hemorrhaging kills and gold made it really hard for Shurima as a team to respond. The unfortunate inability to steal the Rift Herald.
Yes. Freljord did have an extremely successful game and then decided to change up their team completely for really no reason at all, except for the fact that they lost Zac jungle. So, there may be a lot of things going on here. That's why this is a completely different picture from last game.
I agree. I mean, we'll see how this starts to shake up. I see the Swain passes by Vision in the tri-bush.
Yes, and I think Freljord is again doing well on Vision in the jungle, but for some reason fails to have Vision on any objective somehow. So that's kind of hurting them right now because they lost Dragon for free and they lost Rift Herald for free. Oh, it looks like Lissandra is pathing down for a nice little ganky wanky on the bot lane. Oh, but they see her, so she's gonna
spotted
go back.
by a ward. Yeah, spotted by a ward in the river.
Oh, but is Kazakhs gonna catch her off?
Yeah. Oh, Lissandra able to get away. Swain getting some damage on, lands the pull. Lissandra ult will go out. Incoming Misfortune ult! Really turning this around. Swain ult will go down. No one dies.
Yes,
3 ults gone, but really, that Lissandra should have died.
Yes, Freljord tries or not Freljord. Shurima tries a little bit too hard to catch out the Lissandra. I think that Lissandra was in a fine spot there to not die because again, Soraka has her ultimate, and his bot lane could have rotated very quickly.
Yeah, it was a clutch ult from Misfortune, punishing Shurima for overcommitting to that engage.
Yes. The question is not how did Lissandra live; it's how did Shurima live? Because I don't understand how Freljord doesn't immediately capitalize on them all almost being dead and just kill them there.
They had no ability to chase. Lissandra's cooldowns were up, and Soraka and Misfortune were on the wrong side of the fight to catch Shurima.
But Elise was mid lane and could have easily. Oh my God! The Freljordian can't fight.
Oh no! The inability to hit F really bites Elise, but they will trade for Dragon a kill onto Kazakhs.
Freljord has a bit of a mind glitch and fails to smite, and then can't even get the self-esteem kills back to make up for it. That is painful to see.
I mean, at least they got the kill back. At least they got the return kill onto Kazakhs, which is some comfort.
Oh, but it looks like we're getting a redemption gank going on here in the bot lane.
The Jinx landing that snow onto Coldest Winter. Swain getting caught out of position here. And will he go down? Yep, he's going to go down. The Soraka Silence disengaging the Jinx from being able to get back onto Elise. Shen getting the poke and trading onto Yone and just bullying him out. Just builds armor and Yone can't do anything.
And it looks like Yone's about to get dove here by Kazakhs and Cassiopeia. But they only have one minion for this dive.
And
but it doesn't
won't matter.
They only need one minion.
Yeah, the taunt was just gnarly. And the Rift Herald top lane dropping that tower, and it seems like one of the big weaknesses this game is, ironically, the top lane.
Yeah, crazy. It seems like Freljord just really wants to have that nice team fight combo, and they tried so hard for the team fight combo, they went for the Yone top, which apparently is just going to lose hard to Shen, and they're not going to give him any support up there either.
Yeah,
Seems like
go on.
I was gonna say, it seems like Yone is a very integral part of their team because it's really the only way they could possibly kill more than one person at once on Shurima's team, but it doesn't look like they want to help him actually get any gold or not get behind in lane. So I'm not really sure what the plan is here for the Yone.
Yeah, I mean, it almost feels like he's ahead in levels. So, I think maybe the plan that Yone has is to sit there, patiently farm, and scale back into the game.
I suppose, but if that was Yone's plan, then why does he simply not just lane freeze? Is he afraid of the Shen TPs? They're gonna happen anyways.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't stop Shen from helping his teammates, no matter what. So
I mean,
you might as well just freeze.
Who could have thought that Yone wouldn't beat Shen?
I don't know. I feel like somebody might have mentioned that earlier, but who knows? Hard to say, really. We seem to have some good vision yet again from Freljord, but it looks like they have a lot of defensive wards this time. It seems like they're a little scared to walk into Kha'Zix's jungle and place a little wardy there so they can see where he is. They'd rather just kind of get ganked by surprise, I guess, by Kha'Zix, rather than risk dying to him for some vision.
I agree. It seems like Elise was hovering bot lane. I don't know if she's gonna. I guess Elise will not follow up with a gank.
Yes.
Kha'Zix. Oh no, Elise coming back.
Oh.
Kha'Zix looks like he's coming through the tri-bush, looking to also gank. It's a counter gank. They have vision of Elise just sitting there.
And Lissandra seems to be coming down as well. And do they know Lissandra is there? I believe so, because Cassiopeia is also coming down.
And if not, they'll know. But
and
incoming Kha'Zix, that's it.
Well.
Boom.
Oh.
And Lissandra's ult is down.
Oh my
incoming
God,
Cassiopeia ult will not hit whoever it needs to. And now Coldest Winter chasing after Kha'Zix. Unable to get anything on there. Yone comes down. A lot of resources spent to get nowhere, really.
Oh, wait.
Oh, incoming Yone ult.
Here? Oh.
Cassiopeia pops a Zonia. She's going to die, it seems like.
Shen finally uses ult, but it's a waste.
Yeah, unfortunately unable to save her as the entire Freljord team just collapses on her. And they're gonna take this mid tower. I don't know if Shurima's gonna be able to trade bot for mid.
Okay, Shen ints as well.
The dive, Shen did not back up enough, did not respect the Freljord dive, and gets completely initiated on by Yone, who we were just now shitting on. It's almost as if the face conspired against me.
I feel as though this is a horrible gank for Freljord that somehow went in their favor simply because I guess Shurima inted. I'm not really sure what happened here.
Yeah, they overextended. A big part, I think Shurima's team split in the last gank, which did not.
Well, they were never together to begin with. They for some reason, Swain did not get a Shen ult to save his life. And then the Shen ult came for the Cassiopeia, and it wasn't enough.
Yeah, and I mean, the Shurima, or the Freljord team will just come in and destroy Jinx, who's overextending.
I am not sure what's going on, because Shurima had a really nice lead here, but in one bad play, they have just entered away at least 30,000 gold, and have put Freljord back into this game.
Yeah, and off the back of that one really poorly executed gank from Shurima, they let the Lissandra flank them, pop the ult, and split the team, and I don't understand why. Because that just allowed Freljord to come in as a unit and just murder people.
It may have been a communication issue because they didn't know that Lissandra was there. But after they got vision of Lissandra, I feel like it was a very easy reaction on how to then proceed with the fight. But maybe they just got a little too confused after Lissandra showed up. Not sure.
Yeah. I mean, I would have preferred the disengage from the Lissandra ult and just collapse and, try to collapse onto the Misfortune. Because Lissandra's not going to kill you while she's ulted. But it seems like some of the people wanted to wait for her ult to expire so they could get the easy pick. Which was the trap. If only they had Admiral Akbar on their team, they might have known. Thank you for laughing. That was terrible.
Somebody's got to.
Right?
Okay,
And
looks like
Vision.
Freljord has learned their lesson, is finally putting vision around objectives. They now want to start getting monsters, it seems.
Yeah, it seems like their vision priorities were changing as they began winning the game, which I 100% agree with. I think the early lack of vision around objectives was them underestimating how aggressive Shurima would be at taking objectives.
Possibly. It seems
Which,
like Shurima is just going for a straight push here mid lane to make up for the
I
fact that
mean,
they're, I assume, not competent. Sorry, didn't have the dragon timers up.
they have the Rift Herald. They can pop the mid turret and just
Unless they
the
just
misfortune
completely
ult
end.
coming in. Wow,
Wow.
brutal. They
You
do
know,
take the mid turret, but just eat the entire team. Swin's ult goes down. He's barely able. Will he? Is he even able to get away? No, Swin will also go down.
I was going to
And
say that I think that Shurima still has the better team fight. However, and not to sound rude at all, it seems like there is a bit of a awareness diff between the two teams because that play went horribly because Shurima seems to have forgotten that Misfortune is in fact still playing the game and can press R at any time when they're all standing.
right, yeah, no, it was a beautiful misfortune ult to just counter the Rift Herald push mid, and if Shuriba just did not react properly, I would
Yes,
have, like
and
you
this
said,
Misfortune is strong too. It's not like she's behind, so I can't imagine how they could forget that she's playing the game.
yeah, they need to be aware of where misfortune is and plan their pushes around that rather than just grouping and running it down mid.
It's weird that this Elise is getting this gank off here, or this back off here. It was almost illegal, but she seems to be walking out of it safe and sound anyways.
And vision from blue will go down to Baron to make sure that no one can take that, but I don't think that's the priority for Freljord as they're going back to reset.
Oh
Um,
my god.
It looks like Coldest Winter will get caught out, gets
Oh,
the kill onto Cassiopeia anyway, and dies. And I have to wonder, was that worth?
yes,
Because
it
at least
seems like
drops.
Cassiopeia.
Go on.
Well, I was going to say, it seems like Cassiopeia just didn't feel like the best time to flash ult was while Elise was focused on taking the ward where she's guaranteed to be looking at her. Instead, waited until after the ward was gone when Elise would start walking away. So it just kind of ended up being that, well, Elise didn't get stunned there, and Cassiopeia ultimately died for it. Now, is it
Yeah,
worth? Did they get a shutdown from the Elise? I believe so, correct? Yes, they
yeah,
got
I believe they did.
900 gold. 900 gold off
900
that
gold.
Elise.
Yeah, so, and the way I feel like Elise had the ability to leave and opted out of leaving to get the kill. Which, I guess, gotta respect the hustle, but I don't think it was a
Oh
worth
my
trade. But
god, Yone is not balanced.
yeah, Yone coming in, 2v1, getting the kill onto Kha'Zix. The rest of the Freljord team will follow up, but Cassiopeia getting the disengage. And the blue turret will go down, though. And
You know,
it's spiraling
and,
out of control.
and they get a free dragon here as well. While Coldest Winter did give up 900 gold for his death, I feel as though they have Shurima in a position where Shurima is very scared and doesn't realize that Freljord's team comp relies on all 5 of them being there,
Mhm.
while Shurima's team comp doesn't necessarily need all their teammates. So once Cassiopeia is out, they're too afraid to just group and take advantage of Elise being dead.
Yeah, I mean, I also have to, taking a look at their vision, they need more wards, and they need more wards in their own jungle. They're losing. They're having lanes pressure into them. They need fewer aggressive wards that they're not going to be able to utilize.
Yes. It honestly looks like both teams have the same problem where if they feel like they're playing from behind, their ward game just becomes a complete mystery. Because before, Freljord didn't really have the best wards. I mean, they had good defensive wards, but they could have easily, in my opinion, gotten some offensive wards in there. But they didn't because they're behind. I guess they were scared. Now that Shurima is behind, you see all of the aggressive wards are out from Freljord, and we see barely any from Shurima. So It seems like now Shurima is not feeling confident about placing wards or even using Oracle at any point during this game. And it looks like that lack of vision is going to cause them to give up this Baron for free as well.
No, they're going to contest it. It is not going to be a free Baron. The fight will happen, and Swain tries to get the pull on the Yone, who gets out. An incoming ult from Cassiopeia. Zodia's coming out of Lissandra, and
Lissandra's not killable champion.
Yeah, Misclick will kill Swain. Coldest Winter getting the kill on to Jinx. And
see, I feel like that was your mistake here, Rex, for saying that Baron wasn't free. I feel like that free Baron has now transitioned into a free win because there is no way they can contest that.
Yeah, I mean, the Cassiopeia ult did go down, but just there was too much damage that came out. And Kha'Zix might be trying to steal this, but Coldest Winter will have none of this and just completely deletes him.
Man is gone! Off of the map. Nowhere to be seen. Well, with the Misfortune ult, while the Cassiopeia ult is really good, especially in tight corners, well, Shurima is just too scared, and rightfully so, to walk up for that Cassiopeia ult to be worth it, because when they funnel in like that, it's a free MF ult, which is exactly what we saw. Yes, Cassiopeia got her ult off on the Lissandra, but nobody could capitalize on Lissandra almost dying while MF is sending her killing bullets out in front of everybody.
Yeah, and I mean, the story of Shurima's team fights really has been just poor positioning into the Misfortune ults.
Yes.
I mean, and it's I mean, I guess partly positioning on the Shurima's side, but also great awareness from Misfortune to ult after Shurima commits.
Of course. And that really is the downfall of the Misfortune ults usually, right? Ulting when nobody is there.
Yeah, or we're all coming in, Misfortune, all right, let's all leave. No, he's been ulting after Shurima commits, after they get a taste of that objective or that kill, and then that Misfortune ult is just how much are you willing to give for this?
Yes, and as we said in Champions, like, Misfortune is really only countered by, oh my god, are they inting here? It seems as though Swain is probably dead. Oh, no. They let him live.
Swain is able to get away. Not enough pressure coming out of the FRL team to secure the kill. And I don't know if that was intended. I think they just wanted to zone Swain away from the tower so that Baron wave could just take it. And incoming Misfortune ult will push them away from tower. They really want this with those two Baron empowered minions.
Yes, these two. Oh, at least going targetable.
It's not. I mean, I think they're just stalling out for the next Baron wave, which they will get, and hopefully they can translate this. Lissandra split pushing to mid, looking to take that inhib. Cassiopeia goes down onto Yone. Shen getting in there. Swain following up. The Yone ult comes in, and the entire... I mean, most of the Shurima team just gets clapped there.
Yes, and we're using all of our... Oh, no. Very sad. I mean... But that fight goes to failure. All they really have to do is play it slow there and wait for Shurima to make a mistake. They don't need to try to force a dive because they're already ahead. And the moment that Cassiopeia goes in for that ulti, it's pretty much just done for them. She just doesn't have the damage or the follow-up to actually be able to get a good game-changing ult there, unfortunately. Unless she... I mean, maybe if she had gotten the Misfortune, but unfortunately it didn't look like it connected.
Yeah, and then, I mean... Unfortunately, it just seemed... I mean, Freljord able to keep their cool. Coldest Winter coming back. Really putting an impressive showing on that Elise. 12-2. Just showing, with the 19k damage, you cannot ban him out. Are you really just going to spend 5 ban slots on Coldest Winter?
I really do not think that the Coldest Winter bans are worth it in the slightest. I think what needs to be happening in these games is that they have to break apart Freljord's team fight as much as possible. But we'll see what happens in Game 3. Right now it's 2-0 in Freljord's lead. This is game point. Let's see if Shurima can bring it back.
I mean, this is going to be intense. I'm really excited. I hope that... part of me really hopes that Shurima can break the absolute like rampage and domination that Freljord's been putting out there. You know, so far they haven't lost a single match. So
we
this
still
next
believe
Yeah, still,
in Shurima.
yes, we
Yeah,
still believe in you. You guys have got
I
this.
I want to see the gods bleed next game.
Yeah, I'd like to see at least a little nosebleed going on.
As
I
much as
want.
the commentary has been in favor of Freljord, I have to be honest with you. I am a Shurima stan. I believe in their ability to drop one.
I mean, I've made no secrets that I actually like Freljord. I like the people on Freljord. I like the team, but I want to see Shurima put in the showing that they deserve. Getting
Mm-hmm.
swept, they're better than that. I think.
I
I
agree.
I think they're just making little mistakes, and we could see these little mistakes in the preliminaries as well, because Shurima, just like they did last or this game that we saw, why did they just add a Darius bot? Um, I have
A substitution.
I've got questions.
yeah. Okay. Anyways, yeah, we need a new top in ADC,
It's still better
but
than my top laner. Jesus, the flame.
there is a lot of flame that goes down to Shurima, but it's all in jest. However, um, as we saw with Shurima in preliminaries, they are able to get ahead of Freljord early, but they just have a little bit of a problem with inting mid game and then losing entirely. Freljord has a very good way of stopping the bleeding, even when they're behind, or at least slowing it down as much as possible, and waiting for the perfect time for the enemy team to inevitably int. Um, and I'm not sure if that is all by design by Freljord or is just a skill disparity, but that seems to be at least the difference between the second seed and the first seed is that Freljord can wait it out when they're behind, and Shurima
Well,
cannot.
one of the factors you have to consider there is, that Freljord has been a team and been together a lot longer than Shurima has, and Shurima is still pretty new. So the very fact that they're even able to compete here is impressive. But second to that, I think as a result of Shurima or Freljord dialing in their dynamics, um, and having more time to practice together, they're a lot more cohesive and on point with their decision making and a lot more decisive about it. And I think that's where Shurima really is struggling right now, because they were able to fix it enough with their matches against Demacia to really overcome their shortcomings there. But they're facing Freljord, who's been together a lot longer, is a little bit of a different story, because they're able to capitalize on a lot of those really small weak spots or moments of indecision.
I think that's a very good observation. We've talked a lot about how Shurima is a new team throughout the tournament, and Freljord is the oldest team that's competing, or one of the oldest teams that is competing in the tournament currently, especially with their stable roster. And we did talk about how last game ultimately came down to communication. While Freljord did have the weaker team, they could easily play around the team fights with some great communication, which it looked like they did. Um, Possibly, if Shurima had a bit more time to themselves, they may have been able to play around what Freljord had in store for them.
Yeah. Yep. Initially, just right off the bat, that match definitely did look like Freljord kind of had a bit of a disadvantage, but I think it just ultimately ended up being a result of experience and team gameplay.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it came down to that gank bot lane, which I still feel like should have been in favor of Shurima, but unfortunately went to Freljord. And after that,
Yeah,
the game just went really, really sideways.
yeah. It seems like, as far as Shurima's concerned, they have these self-destruct moments where they'll be sitting there controlling a game, doing really well, and then they'll just hit a self-destruct button. And I'm hoping that
Well,
they can avoid it.
An accidental push of the self-destruct button.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
I tripped over something that I should have known was there, and I hit the self-destruct button.
yeah. But there is a self-destruct button, and I'm hoping that they can avoid it this way.
Um, I'm not sure if we have a sub in for the mid lane right now. Suck My Dragon, I guess that's a sub. I have no idea who the Shurima subs are, so sorry.
They
But it
changed. This
looks like
person changed their name recently. I do know that.
okay.
It's
Then I
part of the
have no idea
Dragon
who that.
Squad. There's been a dragon movement recently with Chemtech and
Uh,
Hextech.
I see. It looks like both teams are ready. Are we ready?
Are we?
We are ready, yes. Whenever they
All
are.
right, we are ready. Let's go. All right, we're back into
All
the
right.
ban phases now. Let's see what's going on. Let's see how Shurima decides to fight against Freljord next, and if Freljord decides to try something new for the third game.
Yeah, I'm really
Will
interested
they
to see how
ban out
these.
Coldest Winter again?
I mean, I feel like the Echo ban is at least warranted. I don't know about the other ones.
They really
The
don't like
Lilia
that
ban?
Lilia.
Yeah. I mean, they've faced Lilia before, and Lilia has just run them over. It's a Samira ban coming out too. Um, I wonder if their strategy will be the same, and just try to eliminate Coldest Winter and try to play through one of the other lanes. The Echo coming out.
I feel like out of the 4 options they have, Lilia, Echo, and Zac, I really do feel like Lilia is probably the champion they want to ban the least out of all 4 of those. I
I would
just feel like
agree.
she's more consistent than Elise, but I feel like Elise's early game potential is just way worse for Shurima than what
The
Lilia
ban
can.
on Elise, the plan to ban out Coldest Winter still going strong.
Yes, it seems like his Elise is way more threatening than his Zac. Is that a slap in the face of Coldest Winter or a free win? We'll see.
I mean, it's entirely possible that they might ban out Coldest Winter's champions and also pick the Zac. Just force
That's
him to
true.
dig deeper and deeper into a champion pool until he finds a champion that he's not familiar with.
Well, it would have to be a first pick Zac here. It is not.
A first pick Ornn.
I feel like the
Um,
Shen went a lot better than the Ornn, but maybe
I agree.
it's in the team comp. Maybe it's in the team comp, the difference here.
I have to think that GL the man picking Ornn, considering how hard he got clapped last time, is a mistake as well.
Well,
I
as
would
long
have
as they
preferred the
don't
Shen.
play Jax, he might have a chance here.
Yeah, but he first picked Ornn.
Yes, but Freljord looks like they want to change it up, so they might not go for Jax again. There's the Zac we all know and love. Do we get a Jax or a Soraka, a support pick this time?
I don't know, but the Zac was able to do so much on the map, and I have to feel like Shurima can't pick the same team they picked the first time around. It's just not going to work for them.
Well, they have a different mid laner this time, so maybe their mid laner just outclasses the last one and is a better Cassiopeia. So maybe they can try again.
Maybe, but we have the Lissandra coming out for 10 Rocks as a priority pick. And
Ooh, we're going with the Victor. A very high damage champion. Doesn't have as much control over the team fights as Lissandra, but can pump out a lot of damage they might need
yeah,
to cut
but
down
that
some of these tanky boys.
yeah, and that ultimate will allow him to do a lot of AoE damage on the back line.
That's true. They will have to play around that ultimate. Okay, we're getting a Graves, a bit of a squishier team than before, but possibly very good. We'll have to see what their last 2 picks are. It seems like Freljord is going for the tried and true team fight that they had game 1.
Yeah, depending on what champions they're able to pick up. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see a Jax here, considering how hard Jax stomped the Ornn before.
Oh, we're
Oh,
going for
Misfortune.
Well,
Okay.
I mean, after that last game, if I didn't think the enemy team knew how to play around me pressing R, I would play Misfortune again too. Ah,
And
we're
the
taking away our own
Seraphine ban.
Seraphine by banning it. Okay.
Interesting.
Notice they've given Hextech Dragon his Jinx back. So it seems like they do not care about this late game Jinx fantasy at all.
We've also seen the Rel left open. I would be happy to see
That's
Earth
true.
Dragon pick up that Rel. I want to see the legendary Rel.
It could be a Rel ban right here.
Oh, you should have left it up, you cowards. All
Freljord
right,
wants
well,
to secure that sweep. They
yep,
have to.
they have to. It's a matter. I
Their
guess it's a matter of
reputation
pride now.
is their reputation is on the line here. So far, they are what 8-0 in the
Yeah,
entire tournament. If they drop one, That would be embarrassing, to say the least.
No one will remember them for the loss that they had right now. They'll be forgotten to time.
Exactly. So, if they lose now, they will only be known for this loss.
Is that a Vayne? Is that going to be a Vayne top lane?
Mid? It might be Misfortune mid. Not sure. Could be Vayne top.
I have to feel like it's the Lissandra going to 10 rocks. Oh, they trolled us. It's the Janna.
They just like to listen to us squirm.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, okay. It seems like they were listening to you before, Rex, because we have
Lucian.
Amazing.
I want to see the Nami come out.
Maybe Shurima has the stream open.
Yeah, I want to see the Nami come out right here. I feel like Nami would be great into Misfortune. Just ult for ult, you can cancel her.
Assuming that they do not get killed by Zac and Lissandra instantly. Oh, we're going for the Alistar for a little bit more peel for our Lucian.
Okay. I mean, I believe
Alistar has a little bit of a heal in his kit. Still works, kind of.
That does count. Does that count as an empower?
It empowers his HP, I guess. Oh, and we got the Yone again. I gotta be honest with you, this looks like another hard stomp in Torma Freljord, but we'll see how we play this out.
Yeah, I'm surprised to see the Yone and not the Jax here. But I am curious to see how this goes.
While the Yone did lose lane, he won game, so does it really matter if he gets behind if he's just going to take the W anyways? And that's really ultimately what you're playing for, the W. If you throw away your pride, losing lane is A-okay.
That's true. And, I mean, the knockup from Jax plays really well into the Yone ult, which would then play really well into the Misfortune ult. The Wombo combo.
See, if they go for the Jax, then Jax has to worry about getting kited by Lucian. However, Yone can press R from virtually anywhere and will probably get Lucian up in there, and Lucian will die, I can guarantee you that. It is a better team fight overall without the Jax.
Yeah, well, I mean, I am hoping that the Lucian pick will come out strong. Given the changes to Lucian, he pairs really well with enchanters. And I am curious to see if Alistar's general heals will proc, because that is, I think it's flat AD damage on hit. I think it's like 5 AD or something, 5 to 10 AD. I don't know the exact specifics, but whenever you get empowered, on top of the double strike. I've played against a Lucian Nami combination and had my health disappear in, we'll say, 50% chunks.
Yes, Lucian Nami is quite fun. We've been playing it a bit in Demacia, and I enjoy it myself. So I'm a little bit surprised if we have the option to play Nami that we don't play it. However, this may go back to game 1, getting deleted instantly by Lissandra and Zac. May not want to go Nami because, well, Nami's probably never going to get that E off if she's dead.
Yeah, I mean, I also figured that going Alistar would give them the ability to knock Zac away and knock the Yone away.
Possibly.
And I guess they're hoping that ability will translate to better peel for the ADC. I think their whole plan is to keep the ADC engraves alive.
Yes, but keep in mind that if Zac ever hits his ultimate, or really just his E on this backline, and Yone is in range to press R, they're going to die, or at least Lucian's going to die before Alistar can hit his knockback.
Yeah.
So, it really is up to them to still position properly. Lucian has 2 options this game. He either has the reflexes of a god, or he hides in the shadows until the enemy team has used all of their ultimates. But I have a feeling that Freljord knows how to wait.
Yeah, I mean, I also wonder if Lucian is going to be going Kraken Slayer for the Zac, or if he's just going to be going Shield Bow to survive.
I have a feeling if they picked Lucian to dodge skill shots, he's going to be building Gale Force this game.
I mean, that could also be true and just, like, never be able to catch him. But that the trade-off is I mean, once you pick that, you're basically locking yourself into needing to build Lord Dominic's Regards in order to be able to kill that Zac.
That's true, but that might be the trade-off they're taking. I have a suspicion that the Lucian is being picked simply to survive here. over just having to do damage. And if that's the case, he's going for that Gale Force so he doesn't get killed.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling he's going to die anyways, even with the Gale Force. He might as well just go Kraken.
I almost would have, in that case, preferred the shield bow just for the ability to proc that extra damage. But unfortunately, I guess if you're getting ulted by the Yone and the Misfortune, the
Yes.
shield bow is not going to be what saves your life.
I feel like building shield bow is entirely based on one, Lucian getting head in lane, which Shurima's bot lane so far has not done successfully, or two, Freljord inting their team fight, which so far they haven't done. So
Yeah, Freljord's been inting their lane, not their team fights, unfortunately, for Shurima.
yes. But some people are just better after laning phase. And ultimately, laning phase doesn't always decide the game, as long as you're, especially in coordinated play. You can always overcome somebody inting their lane, as long as you have good team play afterwards.
Yeah, and we have been rezzing Freljord about, inting lanes, but they've never really hard lost a lane. They've been behind in lanes, but they've always done a really good job of drawing that game out and stalling it to the point where they can leverage these team fights in their favor.
Yes, even with Misclicked losing first tower last game, like you said, he was still a level up, so not entirely just throwing the towel in. I believe Freljord's looking at their screens this time, so that invade from last game is not going to work this time.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely not five-man invading it. And
they are worried about it, though. See, those pings, they're kind of worried about them coming from behind. But they might be thinking a little bit too hard for Shurima, because Shurima's not thinking that hard about it.
The emote war coming out, and Alistair milking that cowbell.
Yes. Alistar is here to tilt the casters because he knows that if he uses that cowbell, the spectate is going to watch him for some reason the entire time.
I mean, the spectate doesn't need more cowbell.
That's true. I agree.
And the invade not happening, and it's in Coldest Winter, I believe, is going to be starting blue. Right alongside the Graves, who's starting red. So they are going to be mirroring their clears and possibly meeting top lane either for a gank or for Scuttle.
Yes, and as we've seen, every single game they have met top lane for Scuttle, but also every single game Misclicked has had prio top lane. Now, sometimes they get the Scuttle Crab top and sometimes they don't, but I feel like with some good pings and coordinated play, if Misclick gets priority again, it's just a free Scuttle Crab for Zach. So I don't really completely understand why Graves starts on the same side as him. Though I guess you could say that he just doesn't know where Coldest Winter is.
Yeah, I mean, and I also have to, I mean, we were talking about how poorly Coldest Winter's Ornn played into Jax, but in general, Coldest Ornn should fare decently into Yone, provided that he's able to judiciously pick his engages and not allow the Yone to steamroll him. And you see those trades are going pretty evenly at first as well, because Ornn has a lot of early damage and tankiness.
Yes, Ornn is a super tank and has a lot of disengage in his kit and free damage. Frankly, not balanced. So, he may be able to get over on the Yone early game like he did with Shin.
And it looks like the Misfortune Janna bot lane is pushing real hard in there. Eats the bounce crit off of the cannon minion.
Yes, our really only hope for this game on Shurima's side is this Lucian being able to do anything. But it looks like we're kind of just giving the goose bot lane. So we're either playing for getting camped by Graves or I don't really know. Because going even versus this team doesn't seem like the best idea.
Oh, and the trade coming in top lane, it looks like the slap fight between tanks is still pretty even. I mean, it's obviously not between tanks. But yeah, no, they're going blow for blow. I feel like in terms of the bot lane that they have to pick their engages really carefully because Janna just counters hard engage so easily. And it looks like Coldest Winter coming in for a lane gank here.
Yes, it looks like
diving on, Graves coming in. It looks like there's going to be a fight top lane Zach getting the engage on. Yone pulled back. Graves with a smokescreen. And it looks like nothing's going to
Graves
come of it.
overcommitting a little bit.
Yeah, but I don't think they had kill pressure on him. So, and Coldest Winter is going... Is he going to be leaving? He is in the tri-bush.
He may be waiting to see if Graves does a little bit of an overcommit yet again.
Yeah, but it's looking like Graves backing in the bush after helping Ornn push the lane back, and Zach will also back.
Yes. But a play like that makes me think, again, that they may not know where Coldest Winter is starting at the beginning of each game, or maybe that goes into the communication problems of being a relatively new team, because I don't know how you don't know that Zach is top lane and could possibly counter gank there. And I don't believe that Graves Ornn wins that 2v2 level 3 and 4.
I agree. And the bounce crits coming off of Misfortune really punishing the aggression of the Lucian. And it looks like bot lane is going to reset. And Vision coming out from around the right around the dragon pit. And it looks like Shurima is posturing, at least hoping to try to secure that dragon first.
Yeah, Misfortune's low on mana here, so they may be trying to get something of a bit of a surprise on the Misfortune, maybe get a little bit cheeky kill.
I have a feeling that Graves wants to gank Lissandra but can't. And so Graves is going to be going bot lane.
Oh, it looks like he's trying to do another sneaky sneak on the drag. Oh, never mind, he's going over the wall. Quick access to the Krugs. Zach is thinking about ganking here, but can't do it because of this ward. However, he is playing Zach.
So he might be able to do it anyway. He's stretching himself out a lot. Gets the engage onto the Alistar. And will the kill come out? No, Alistar able to barely get away, and Graves following up with the smoke screen. Lucian following up, the disengage coming out from Janna. The tornado will tell them to back off.
Yes, even though Shurima had that worded, it seems like they're on the not looking at your screen syndrome because they didn't know Zach was there and unfortunately wasted a flash bot lane. It's a quick trade coming up here top, but it looks like Zach might be coming back for the counter gank to really, or not counter gank, but lane gank to kill that Alistar with no flash, but doesn't look like they have much going on here because their bot lane wants to back.
Yeah, still pretty even in gold. There's a 400 gold CS differential, it seems like. And I'm definitely glad that neither team has started to bleed kills.
Oh, that CS diff top lane is huge, though. My God, Ornn,
jeez. And Ornn starting to really beat the crap, or Yone starting to beat the crap out of Ornn here.
We really had some faith in GL the Man here after his performance against Yone top lane, but it seems like on Ornn, he's not trading well or last hitting well. It may not be the same top lane we saw last game.
It may be closer to the same top lane we saw the first game.
It looks like Graves is thinking about a little gank here. Once again, we don't seem to be paying attention to where Zach is on the map because he's getting a free counter gank here again.
Yeah, Ornn ult will go down. Yone ult comes out and
unable to
get the kill.
Oh,
no.
We got him.
The first blood coming out of Yone, who
it seems like
should not have fought Ornn and should have turned on to Graves.
Well, he did. I think he got pulled back by his E and was just next to Ornn by him.
I see. Yeah, that is unfortunate.
It seems like Misclicked has taken over Tenrox's position as being first blood in the tournament, because I think this is the third time he's been first blood.
The TP going down. I mean, he does have... He still has a CS differential, so... Seems like top lane is now even.
I wonder if that was a rage TP, because that's a pretty easy second gank on the Yone up here, especially with Victor here in the river, but I guess they're the time it takes to get the Rift Herald and Coldest Winter, keeping in mind that a second gank could come, protects Yone from his mistakes on that very quick TP.
Yeah, Alistar getting a good knockup onto the Misfortune, but just unable to really make anything happen as Lucian out of position to follow up, and he will get punished heavily for doing that.
Yes, and it looks like Lysandra is looking at coming down. If Lysandra is smart, she goes behind the dragon here, but maybe she's just thinking about clearing some wards instead.
It seems that way. It seems like she
Going
was
back mid
spotted.
lane. Ooh! Are you seeing a nice gank? It doesn't look like Victor's paying attention to the map state.
And boom, here comes Victor. Oh, Lysandra coming with the root, and ult coming out, and that's it. Victor is going to go down to 10 rocks.
Very
As he just
unfortunate.
overextended hard. Oh, the initiation from Alistar onto Janna. Miss Fortune ult will go down. Lucian getting punished really hard. Ult goes down from Lucian. And, Coldest Witcher following up with Lysandra. Kill goes down to Chemtech Dragon, and that is going to be an Ocean Drake, I think.
Yes, most definitely. I don't know if this counts as the explosion that you described earlier, but it seems like more than one player on Shurima's team has forgotten there is a Zac in this game, and he can gank from unfair advantages. You will die in lane if you ever walk up.
And the Ornn coming down, ult will come down from Ornn to hit the Lysandra. Graves following up. Looks like they're going to get a kill onto Janna.
Yes, Freljord decided to just leave their Janna to die. Was that a good idea? And Miss Fortune had no mana. Probably better
unfortunately, that is the fate of the support, to die for the team.
Unfortunately, though, Miss Fortune did use her heal, probably for the movement speed. I'm sure not to protect Janna, since they all decided to let her die anyways.
Yeah, that was unfortunate, but I have to feel like it was the right call. I don't think they had the ability to follow up and save her, and they'd possibly drop more kills.
Now, we may have gone with the Victor here, because the Victor is just the more mechanically skilled player over the Cassiopeia, but it seems like he's not the most map-aware player, as he has yet again forgot that he's against Lysandra Zac in the mid lane, but thankfully he was saved by having movement speed and playing Victor.
So it looks like Alistar is going to be finally clearing that control ward. Initiation from... That's it! Wow, yeah, the Lysandra just came straight in, locked him down, and that was all she wrote. And, I mean, why is Victor not warding?
Not to flame, but it seems like Victor has the memory of a goldfish, and forgot that he just got ganked and pushed up a second time, and has died this time for that mistake.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta figure, they do have a good blue vision ward up on the dragon side. Why isn't he playing close to the side where he has vision?
To be fair, it is Lysandra Zac. It doesn't really matter what side he's on. He gets ganked regardless there.
Yeah, but at least he could see them approach.
I suppose that's true as well. But he did see Zac gank him just 2 seconds before, so I don't think seeing him on the map really mattered there.
Yeah, no, that was just a poor time to overextend. Flash coming in, knocking the Janna back into nobody. It seems like the Janna's just gonna walk away. Yone gets an ult coming in, and he's just getting the flash out after 3 people get onto him. The Ornn ult gets whiffed. Victor will kill the support Janna. Blue team kills Rift Herald, but Yone will kill Alistar's Earth Dragon and get a double kill onto the Victor. Graves is in no man's land, desperately running away here. He knows he's not running through any wards, but Lysandra's trying to flank him here.
Maybe
is he just going to try to execute?
He cannot.
He cannot. He got smited.
I gotta be honest with you, I have no words for what happened there. Now, normally I am a big fan of calling Yone a broken champion, but that just looked like a straight-up mechanical outplay on 3 people at once from misclicked. Good job. It seems like you were able to dodge every single skill shot they had amongst 3 people until your teammates could show up.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Miss Fortune just power farming that lane here. Another turret plate goes down. I mean, at that point, you've got the maximum amount of gold you're going to get from that turret.
Honestly, and we see this a lot from Freljord's teams, is that they make their team fight so strong that really their bot lane does not have to do anything at all to win the game.
Oh, and incoming gank from Coldest Winter,
He changed his
and
mind.
he's not going to do it. They just disengage back into the tower.
But yeah, the way FRL set up their team, their ADC really didn't have to do anything at all. Dana kind of inting here.
Yeah, Janna gets caught out of position here, able to walk away. Coldest Winter ready to go in to save her, but did not this time.
It doesn't matter. It seems like Shurima has no damage, and Janna's shield is just too much for all of their abilities.
Janna is a strong champion. Every time you think you're going to kill someone, Janna says no.
I am not seeing a Vampiric Scepter on this Lucian, so it's either Gale Force or Kraken Slayer.
I agree. I have a feeling... I mean, it is the pickaxe, so it's definitely going to be either Gale Force or Kraken Slayer. I would not be surprised if it was Gale Force, judging by the way they're trying to play and the way they're trying to keep the Lucian alive.
I feel like the Alistar may have had a good knock-up on the Misfortune there, but neglected to use his Hextech Flash instead of just walking out of the bush for whatever reason, so it didn't quite work. We see that Zac is going for the dragon here. Graves is top lane, and I'm sure they know that. It looks like it's a free dragon for Freljord yet again.
And, I mean, 15 minutes in, it is only a 2.5k gold differential, roughly.
I wonder if Shurima will respond to this dragon by getting the Rift Herald. But based on the lack of vision, I feel like that's not going to happen.
Yeah, and plus, I mean, top lane has priority. Yone's getting really strong, bullying this Ornn. I don't think they're able to take the Rift Herald.
That's
unless
true,
there's just no rotation at all. But Graves looking like he wants to come in and gank.
Yeah, they've really been putting some focus here top lane. I guess they got really excited about getting misclicked behind because of that Yone game, but they seem to forget that, and I've said this before, Yone's not balanced. He can be 0-5, he just has to press R. It doesn't really matter if you kill him in lane.
I mean, I really feel like the win condition of their team was going through the Lucian and getting him fed. They need to do that.
Yes, I'm not really sure why they are continuously ganking Yone. Probably one of the hardest lanes to gank in this game for anything other than maybe it's just a comfort gank. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, I mean, and this sounds kind of mean to say, but when you have a lane that you know is not going to win, don't pour resources into that because those resources are going into a sink.
Honestly, it doesn't even really... It's not even about can this player win the lane. It's really, can this champion win the game? And while Ornn is a huge asset to his team, don't get me wrong, a fed Ornn is still not as useful as an inting Yone. That's just the diff.
I mean,
we might get Misfortune here. Never mind.
Nope. The Janna ult just... Like I said, Janna says no.
But we did get a Misfortune Flash. Probably unnecessary since we had the Janna ult.
Yeah. And Graves coming into clear vision. He might be looking to... He's not looking to lane gank here. But, yeah, I mean, and I also have to figure that Ornn does Ornn things, even if he doesn't have a lot of gold. True. Lucian needs the gold. And that's the problem here. Is they're not funneling the gold onto the champions that they need.
Exactly. Both Ornn and Yone are extremely functional champions, even if they're inting. However, Victor and Lucian need gold, especially Victor.
Right, so...
They should really be focusing these lanes.
Exactly. Those are the lanes that you want to snowball. The lanes that are going to scale off of the pressure that you put on them.
Oh! Has Victor died to his lack of map awareness yet again?
And the ult will go out from Victor. Will Victor get the kill? No, he gets the flash out of Lissandra at least before he dies. The Ornn ult will come out. In the meantime, Lucian ult goes in. Graves trying to get the kill onto Yone. He might get away here. No, he's not. Graves is gonna get the. Oh no, the outplays are coming here. If he gets robbed from this kill here, oh my god, no. The kill does go to Ornn, but Coldest Winter ready to follow up here. And Ornn is just unkillable, and Coldest Winter might have bitten off more than he can chew.
I believe this is an easy 1v2 for
Oh
Zach.
my
because
god, no!
as we
You're
know
right.
about Zach, he does way more damage than necessary with no damage items. And as we see, he gets an easy 2 kills.
Easy double kill. That I did not. I did not see the adult ready, and could just use it to
Yes.
murder them both.
Yes, it turns
and
out that Sunfire Cape might as well be Luden's Echo in the hands of Zach.
yeah, and in the meanwhile, there was that bot lane trade where Lucian ulted and was unable to get the kill onto Chemtech Dragon.
Yes.
And I feel
I
like
feel
that might have been because the Janna took some of the bullets.
I really do feel like a good TP bot, they could really just kill Misfortune and Janna at any time, but haven't done so for some reason. Oh, unfortunate they don't get that ward. Very sad.
Yeah, very sad. It only has 1 health. Yone is actually getting onto the Rift Herald here. And I feel like almost all of the other Rift Heralds have gone the way of Shurima. Oh, the incoming gank onto Victor, who has just been camped this game, it seems like.
But
He has
really,
been ganked
has
repeatedly.
Victor been camped, or is
No.
Victor willingly just dying to every gank? Because, like I said, he seems to have amnesia and actually doesn't know what champions Freljord is playing.
Yeah, no, he's been punished real hard for overextending and not
Yes.
having enough vision.
And they seem to be very simple overextensions as well, like very easy to not be ganked here, but seems to be getting ganked anyways.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Oh,
while
we should-
someone might claim that they're getting camped, if you're getting ganked in League of Legends and you're dying, that is your fault.
Now,
Ganking is a thing that happens. You should be planning around it.
to be fair to Victor, standing 2 feet away from your tower versus Zac is technically being overextended. But
Yes.
his positioning is inexcusable. We have a
Oh,
team fight
and
here.
the Misfortune ult coming in really clutch, getting the kill onto Ornn. And that fight for Dragon, Misclick
Yes.
will go down. Zac getting the initiation back onto the Alistar, and I don't know why they picked this fight without the Lucian. But
Well,
everyone
they
goes
didn't.
down.
Well, they didn't actually. What happened is that somebody went in for the steal. I can't remember. I think it was Ornn or Alistar.
Yeah,
whoever who it
Ornn.
was. And the entire team of Shurima were still in red side, but I guess somebody was standing too close, and Yone just came in, started slicing somebody, and they said, oh, might as well kill Yone. So they killed
Yep.
Yone, but they can't actually escape Lysandra and Zac. Surprise,
Yeah.
surprise, in the amount of time it takes to kill Yone. And they all die for it. Who would have guessed? And it's another free objective on the side of Freljord. Oh!
Shield are coming out for
are
Grave.
getting a Kraken Slayer from Lucian. Lucian says, look, he's not scared. He can dodge skill shots on his own. He needs the Kraken Slayer to do some damage.
Yeah, they need the damage. They really do. Unfortunately, Graves has not been able to do the lifting that they were hoping he might be able to do because
Yes.
the team is just too tanky, and they need the Lucian's damage. And they need
We are
it to
not
scale
getting
fast.
the one-shot Graves fantasy out here on the squishies.
No, we are not.
It might have to do with him being 3 levels down, but remains.
Yeah, it might have to do with Freljord being roughly 8k gold ahead.
Good. Hard to say these days.
So
So
I
we
mean,
have a Rift Herald plus Baron play, quite powerful.
I mean, at this point, I kind of have to feel like the only chance that Shurima has is just to try to shore up the jungle as much as they can, turtle up, and try to stall out the game so they can scale back in.
I mean, the only chance Shurima has, really, because they either wait for Freljord to make a mistake, which they most likely won't do, or they get a pick on somebody who's split pushing. Problem is, their split pusher is Yone, who takes way too long to kill before his entire team can rotate.
Yes.
Now, all Shurima really, or not, all Freljord really needs to do here is to push literally any lane and win the game. Because, as we've seen before, Shurima will stand somewhere they shouldn't and get entirely engaged on and die here while they have Baron.
Yeah, I mean, this is
Based
not
on-
a fight they should be taking right here.
I don't know
But-
why they're trying to protect this tier 2 tower.
Yeah. I
Ornn
mean,
is top lane as well. He's not
yeah,
going to TP
Earth
before
Dragon
his
is
dead.
just out of position, gets killed off of the misfortune ult. Yone gets double kill. Graves flashes out. And now Chemtech Dragon picking up the kill. And now Tenrock killing Graves. And Ornn is just in no man's land.
I
That's
am
it.
not sure why we relied on the Ornn TP here, because the only way we can stop Freljord's engage is through a really good Ornn ult. But Ornn cannot TP faster than Yone can press R. So I have no idea why they put Ornn top lane here, expecting him to TP in time. It's just not physically possible.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the Ornn TP should have come in their own base and not behind.
Looks like we have a surrender coming out here.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. It looks like Freljord is our champions, going 9-0 in the entire tournament.
Hey! Wow.
Hey.
I will
Absolutely
say that
incredible.
I am still a Shurima stan, but seems like Freljord takes the cake here. And we can look at stats. Whoo!
The Yone just running the game over with 16k damage.
Yep.
And the Misfortune, a respectable 13k. And I mean, no one on Shurima even came close.
Yes, unfortunately.
Our-
The Janna was packing a punch here. The 4k damage.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
jeez.
I thought your comments were on point about Janna. Like, every time they tried to do something, Janna was just like, nah.
Yep, and that's typically the function of Janna. She's a very good disengaged champion and can actually do some pretty good engaged plays if you have to, but this game, it wasn't required of her.
Yeah, no, the Janna was basically the counter to Alistar. Alistar tries to engage, Janna says, go somewhere else.
Exactly. Even if Graves had gotten ahead, he would have had a hard time getting around that Janna.
50% of the Janna's deaths were when she was abandoned by her own team, at least.
All right, guys. Well, we've got the analyst desk up next here in about 10 minutes. And I think that both of our casters, as well as hopefully both captains of the teams that played today, will be there. And we'll be just chatting about the game and the team and having a good time. So that should be pretty fun. Be sure to join us for that here. Again, that's going to be probably about 10 minutes as we get everything set up. And so be sure to check back for that. And a big thank you to our casters who are doing all of this for free and did an amazing job. So I appreciate you guys for stepping in and taking charge of this with such skill. And yeah, so I will see you guys then. And be sure to drop a like and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you want to see more live videos like this in the future. So we'll see you guys in about 10 minutes or so. All right, guys, welcome back. We are finally here with the analyst desk, and super crazy intense matches. I think the streamer did incredibly well, and we actually are lucky enough to have Urf here from Shurima. He was the support for Shurima, and then we have the captain of Freljord here, Lauren, and we also have Freljord's jungler here as well. And then we have our two beautiful, amazing casters. So, welcome, guys. So, thoughts, feelings, initial reactions on the match, funny moments. How do you guys feel? So, Freljord went like what? Undefeated. So, 9-0, I think, is the final.
Yep, 9-0.
9-0.
Yeah.
How does that feel?
Feels pretty good
Feel like
because I
your
think
effort
we
is paying
actually
off?
called it. Yeah, we actually called that we would be undefeated. But I do think they were definitely trying in the first couple games. I think their morale seemed kind of down on the third one, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, and also it seems like a lot of the Shurima strategy just seemed to be around banning out coldest winter specifically.
Yeah.
I mean, how first of all, how deep is your champion pool? Is that even possible?
Yeah, we were talking about how blanding you out just wasn't the play.
I'd say I can play about 7 champions at a pretty high level. So
Woo! Well, we don't have
Pretty-
7 bans, so.
yeah.
So there you go.
Do you have any jungle picks that you haven't played yet that you would be like, are excited or like you'd want to kind of see come out if you had the perfect team come?
No, I played pretty much everything I wanted to play. I was pretty excited to get to play Zac actually because I haven't played Zac at all. Don't even get to play him in Clash, so it was pretty exciting playing Zac for once.
Nice.
Did he get banned out a lot in Clash?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like I think my stats are like 9 KDA or something, like 80 something games. So they just look at that and they're like, it's got to go.
Yep.
I mean, totally fair.
That's like whenever I play Clash, like my Pyke almost always gets banned out, even though I don't play Pyke anymore and I don't play support. Like I usually play mid, but it doesn't matter just because of how many games are on him. People always ban it out.
Yeah, so it seems like the first game went really a little bit rough for you in the early game. Shurima got kind of a big lead, and how were you guys able to kind of pull together and fight through that?
Sorry, let me look. Who did I play the first game?
I think that was the second game.
No, that was the second
First
game. Sorry,
Oh,
that
the
was when we
second
were
game.
playing Elise. Yeah,
Yeah,
first
the
game you
second
played
was the
Zac,
Elise
and you
game.
guys steamrolled. Yeah, second game on Elise.
The second game, I was a little bit worried because Elise is kind of our early game champion. I had ganked bot actually, and unfortunately, I didn't get the kill, so I was a little bit worried that I wasn't going to be able to come online that game. But then I managed to, I guess, catch Kha'Zix walking into my jungle, and then got the shutdown solo, and that put me like really back in the game to a point where I felt really confident about how the game would go from there.
Yeah, I think that was when Kha'Zix came for the counter gank, right? And both top laners died, and you were able
Yes.
to catch Kha'Zix going into the tri bush. That was
Yeah, when he face checked you.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a bit of a mistake on his end. I feel like had he not dropped that kill, he would have been able to continue applying a lot of pressure and put you further behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But it seems like the story of Freljord's dominance, even from behind, has always been just slow the game down, keep playing methodically, and then just crush these team fights.
Yeah. We had some really strong team fights in a lot of the games. Particularly like in one of the what do you call it? The previous games, the Hecarim game actually, where Hecarim was like super ahead. We had like a really good team fight by Baron, where everybody just got really good ults off when we came back that game. That was probably the closest game we were to losing in the entire tournament. So
Yeah, I feel like had that fight gone the other way, you probably wouldn't have been able to. You might not have been able to come back from that. So good on
Yeah.
you guys. But also in that game, a lot of really great misfortune ults from Corey.
Oh yeah, I was
Yeah.
actually looking back at the games. I seen Corey had saved our mid laner pretty
Mid
hard
tower.
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
that the mid lane ult as well when they were going for the Rift Herald mid lane, that was pretty good as well.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I was mentioning, I mean, first of all, the misfortune ults are kind of hard to hit, but just how intelligent it is to hold the misfortune ult until after the team has already committed to the play. So because then they have to make the decision of, do we continue with the play or then do we back off? And it was a hard decision for some of the Shuriman team, it seemed like.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about one of the things we were talking about was that, and part of this is just a result of Fairleigh having more experience and gameplay time together, and but one of the areas that at least to us it looked like Shrima was struggling to overcome during that match, which really kind of affected some of those key moments in the match, was like ultimately their team decision making and their ability to appropriately respond as a cohesive unit, and everybody, I guess, be essentially be on the same page together, because they would get a lead, and then there would be just a couple really small things, like just like really really small plays that would happen that they would end up losing, kind of due to usually due to just kind of a moment of, it seems like, indecision, or somebody just making a very slight misstep, and Freljord was able to take those those accumulated small victories and end up turning the match around there. And perhaps Irv can speak a little bit more to that, as far as if that's accurate, or what was what from their perspective, how things happened and went down. But that's that's definitely kind of how things looked from an external perspective. Are any thoughts on that, Irv specifically?
Yeah, no, I would definitely say that any sort of momentum that we would gain, especially a lot of the early on things, because we had two of the three first bloods, or all three of them, I can't exactly remember. And we would start off like 3-0. We would have like a nice solid start. Like you were saying, a lot of those small decisions they were able to capitalize on and really turn it around. And once we lose the steam, we're not able to. We didn't seem to really be able to do anything about it.
Right.
I mean, one of the things that I noted is that it seems like when Shurima seems to be playing from behind, that their vision game kind of falls apart. And I feel like, go on.
I do think that they were doing really well with the pink wording for sure in the
Mhm.
very beginning.
Yeah, I think their offensive wards are really good, but I feel like their defensive wards were something that they might need to practice or focus on a little bit, because it seems like there were a lot of plays where they were getting caught out of position just due to a lack of defensive wards in their jungle.
And I feel like that actually could probably be extended to a general gameplay, like strong points as a team versus kind of weak points or weaker points that probably should be given more attention. Is that their aggressive plays are really are really strong, but their defensive plays and recovery are kind of the areas that seem like they probably need the most attention and effort from here on out. Is that? Do you agree with that, Rex? Like, is that?
Yeah, I think that, I mean, they're definitely a really hyper aggressive team, and when they're able to put the foot on the gas, they're able to apply a lot of really hard pressure. But when they're put on the defensive, I feel like they have a hard time. They have a hard time fighting from behind.
I think you also have to keep in mind like who they're playing against, right? We're giving our praises to Shurima for being good at aggression, but we also have to talk about Freljord. Like once they get online, right? They know how to play their team fight. They know how to stick together, or at least be close enough that they can rotate quickly, right?
Mhm.
So you have to take into account, like, yes, you know, their defensive vision control needs to be better, but we have to also think about the risk of walking into that jungle, right, to clear those wards. Everyone on Freljord is going to see you clearing that ward by red buff, right? So you're
Yeah.
weighing, do I clear the ward and get collapsed on by 3 people, or I just leave it there, right? So it's not really just a weakness of Freljord not being able, or not Freljord, or not weakness of Shurima not being able to ward, but also just the strength of Freljord being able to capitalize on them clearing that offensive vision.
Yeah, Freljord's rotations have also just been absurd, throughout the entire tournament. It's infrequent for Freljord members to just be caught out doing nothing and just get completely deleted. There's usually a rotation, there's usually a plan and a mindset. So that's always something that I've always appreciated about Freljord.
Yeah. The one of the analogies that just came to mind with like watching the Shurima versus Freljord matches was feels kind of some like watching a Viking army versus like a Roman army. Like just like as far as the rotations go and everything, like it feels like
Yeah.
like Freljord's very just like small steps, like very very organized and and intentional and which has its benefits. And then you've got the Shurima, which especially in the past has had more of a tendency to just be very very aggressive, and kind of just like go all in and live or die, it doesn't matter, kind of an attitude. But
With that aggressive play, I would like to ask you, or Sean, do you think that, I guess, how the way Shurima plays, whether it be like an aggressive play style or not, do you feel like that is a weakness of Shurima that you guys need to work on fixing, or a play style that you would like to refine and get better at so you can execute it
it's a good
in different
question.
ways?
It is a good question. I would say that it's both a yes and a no to it. I would lean more towards it being a strength. Because I would say that as a team, like we have a lot of the confidence of playing that aggressive style. Something I can definitely say as far as today, I know that several of us, specifically me, I was not happy with my gameplay today. I have definitely had my reasons, but I don't want to throw out excuses. But one of the things that we were commenting on ourselves as team was there was a lot of lack of aggression. Part of that was due to for me personally, it was my inability to be aggressive due to some countering. But where we are able to be aggressive, that I would say is where we shine. And if we just don't stutter and we just commit to it, we have a better chance of being successful. So I would say that practicing and refining on that would definitely be in our best interest.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
definitely, and I
I
did not mean that previous comment as like it was a weakness of Shurima. It's just a different vibe, like a different approach. And I super agree with the fact that the as long as I think it just like ultimately as long as you guys are on the same page with it and are willing to all make the commitment, and your timing is good, like that aggression can definitely be a big strength.
You have no issues from me in regards to seeing that as being called out or anything. Like I take it as praise be compared to a Viking army.
Yeah, and I
I think
mean,
the rest of us
It's-
would as well.
yeah, I
but
mean,
we're
and I
the
think
Vikings. We're Freljord though.
Yeah, I mean,
Technically. But I do think that
In the end, it was barbarians that did take down the Romans.
Ooh.
Yeah.
True.
damn.
Ooh, okay. A
Oh.
little foreshadowing for the next
All right.
tournament. I like it.
Little history and foreshadowing.
I do think that I do appreciate your guys' aggression though, like especially from the jungler. He is in, and that's I think we need to, or you guys just need to like kind of communicate to each other what needs to be happening during the team fight, but that takes time.
Absolutely. I would say that one of the things that has been known in the tournament is that Freljord has been, the longest standing current team that we have within Helios as far as the current roster goes, and spends a lot of time with practice.
Yeah.
And Shrema is the most, or the second most, like recent team to get like its current roster together, and a lot of conflicting schedule at the moment, which prevents practice. So I'd say that if we are able to get in tune with practices and whatnot, then we could definitely see a lot of improvement with this team.
Yeah, that's
So
that's one of the things I did want to point out there was that I was actually, really surprised with how quickly both of the new teams were able to get to a point where they could, offer opposition and kind of get some of those problem areas fixed. So, and Shrima is definitely, no exception to that. Like you guys definitely, especially with how much you were able to fit practices in with crazy work schedules and whatnot, like you guys made a lot of progress there.
Yeah. And an aggressive play style, especially with the way League is going, is definitely a high risk, high reward. So it's definitely one that if you can hone it is going to be really deadly. But I mean, it's not going to be easy, right? You're going to have those misplays and stuff. So I'm really excited to see like where Shrima ends up. I really do think that you guys will end up being a very strong team with that play style.
That's a really good point. Like with where League is headed this next year, with the changes coming up, that kind of aggressive play style is going to be definitely more rewarded and more kind of a more profitable one to adopt. So that could be a better environment too for that to thrive. We also have a question here from the chat for each of you. What was your favorite match of the tournament?
I don't remember which game it was. I think it was day 1, but the game the day, I think it was against I wish I remember, but I was hitting a lot of Seraphine ults. That was my favorite game to play. There was a really good Seraphine ult up top that